Hola. Where y'all at? Nerd herd, where y'all at? So when you're not next to me. Where are my peoples at? Let's see. Hola. I see somebody's in the place. See 3 people in the place. Get your comments on. As they say, hit the like button when you enter the room. I don't see you guys commenting. Did I do something wrong? Let's see. Let me see. Where's the comments? Okay. Hey, dopest mod. What's the dealie? Oh, I'm going to get up for 1 second. Tell the others I'll be right back. Hey guys. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. Let me put these phones on silent. People are prone to calling me while I'm live. Hey, hey, hey. We got the dopest mod in the house, Ariani. M. Zambrano. Miss Gemini. Let's see, what have I done? Marie Rose. Clean black sneakers. Uh-oh, not the black. Black A1s? Black A1s? Tell us now. You know what they say about them black A1s. I'm teasing. You just got to take the black A1s off by the door when we get in the house. Everybody know the routine. Take your shoes off by the door. Grab a pair of fuzzy socks in the little basket by the door. Put your feet up on the ottomans. Make yourself at home. Put your drinks in them. What you drinking? What you drinking on? And it's definitely time for something to eat. So put your food requests in as well. You know what they say about them black A1s, but you keep them clean though. See, that's I ain't mad at the clean ones. Y'all get in here, get in here. Hey baby, how you doing to all my nerd herd family? And I was talking about the memberships, guys. We have memberships. Jump on in, join the family officially. I mean, you're all official, even if you're just peeking. And here's the thing. I know that a lot of people watch YouTube on their TV screen. With the advent of smart TVs and all that, a lot of times we're not on our phone. You're in the house, you're tired of looking at a small screen or looking at the little blue hue. So you're watching it on your TV, and that's okay. All I ask is that if you're watching it on your TV, go ahead and just go on your phone and hit us a thumbs up in your subscription on your phone. I get it. It's not super easy. Sometimes people watch YouTube on the guest settings like me. I don't know why. I'm such a, conspiracy theorist. I never log in on my TV. I'll watch it on my TV, but only in guest settings. But on my phone, of course, our phones are wired and relegated to us, so everybody knows who it is. What's everybody having for dinner? What's for dinner? Who got a plate for the dopest nerd? Who got a plate for me? What kind of plates is on deck? Talk to me. Talk to me. Well, we have some things to talk about, guys. The first thing I'm going to talk about is what I left off of. Somebody said to me, my hand is ashy, but let's be honest. My hand is always ashy. I got dry skin. Sometimes I have this thing about lotion. I do not like the way it feels all the time. And in the house, I don't want that feeling. I gotta go out. I'll put some lotion on, but what's a little ash between family? We family. My hand is ashy. It's always gonna be this left hand. Right hand don't be so bad, but that left hand, baby. Let me give you a little lip color. It shows up pretty nice, my daughter says. Give him a little lip color. It looks nice on the screen. Hey, y'all. Hey, Latoya. Where you at, girl? Shout out to Latoya, the other mod. Oh, homemade vegetable soup. That sounds delicious. My daughter was talking about soup the other day. I happen to let you guys know I have dang near a world-renowned cordon bleu chef living in my house who happens to be 17. And baby, can she throw down. We eats up in here. Hey, Nerd Herd family. What y'all eating on? Or put it like this. If you haven't cooked yet, I know the girl, what they call it, girl dinner. Might be a bag of chips and a cup of water. I get it. But in case you haven't cooked, what would you like to be eating? Let's get some stuff up here. What would y'all like to be eating? And what's your drinks? I know we've been sipping on. We could be internet sippers. Well, so we got a lot to talk about. This is the Everything and the Kitchen Sink show. What I'm going to start out with is where I left off before with the Barron Trump stuff. So the name of the book is The Wonderful, oh, darling, let me refer to my notes. The Marvelous Travels and Journeys of Barron Trump. I'm trying to remember off the top of verbatim. Okay, it is now there's something called the Barron Trump Collection. Oh, seafood, nothing but seafood. I hear that. What kind of seafood? My daughter is a seafood specialist. Fish tacos and mimosas. Delish. Sounds delicious. I like a good baked ziti myself. You know, a little solid something. Got the lobsters and the shrimps in the house. We is fancy in here. So the Barron Trump book is called The Barron Trump Collection. There are 3 books. The Travels and Adventures of Little Barron Trump and His Wonderful Dog, Bulger. Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. And what is the 3rd book? I think there's a 3rd book. And so they were written by an author named Lockwood Ingersoll. Lockwood Ingersoll. Ooh, calamari. I love me some calamari. Lockwood Ingersoll wrote these books over 100 years ago. And the novel recounts the adventures of a German boy named Wilhelm Heinrich Sebastian von Trump, who goes by Barron Trump for short, as he discovers weird underground civilizations, offends the natives, flees from his entanglements with local women, and repeats this pattern until arriving back home at the Castle Trump, which is on 5th Avenue, no less. The similarities are uncanny. Now, mind you, I don't know if the life imitates art imitates life, but I suspect because of the name, someone peeped them to these books back in the days, and so they probably tried to match their life to the book. But in one of the books, it talks about, so this one is the Barron Trump Adventures. It says, filled with exotic flights of fancy, the Barron Trump tales feature a titular character, a wealthy boy who lives in Trump Castle. His actual name is Wilhelm Heinrich Sebastian von Trump, but for the sake of simplicity, he chooses to go by the title Barron Trump. So Barron is a title, not his name. The young fellow embarks on time-traveling adventures through human history. Through his travels, he meets societies of peoples and tribes from long ago, picking up aspects of their language and social customs. Accompanied by his faithful and protective companion, his hound Bulger, the young Baron navigates a variety of adventures and surmounts many obstacles. The final book in this volume discusses the rise of a U.S. president and has been variously described as either coincidental or I'm not familiar with this word. I would say prescient of aspects of the 21st century political climate. Set in an America torn by division and dissent, there are references to a hotel on Fifth Avenue in New York and an election of an outsider candidate ensuing in a chaotic atmosphere. Ingersoll Lockwood, where did I? Ingersoll Lockwood was the author of many children's books and short stories. A veteran of the U.S. Consular Service, he began writing in the 1870s and attained fame and appreciation for his efforts. So I truly believe, oh yes, in the 1870s. So now it could be one of those things of life imitates art, art imitates life. If it's the art, if it's life imitates art, then they kind of crafted their lives to fit into a narrative that matches so that it could appear to be, like a premonition or whatever, or prophetic in some ways. However, knowing these people, like for instance, Donald Trump, his family's real name is actually Drumpf, Drumpt, or Drumpft. That's their true name. And they are of German ancestry. However, they've been fronting all this time saying they were Scandinavian. The impetus of which is they felt like there was a time where being connected to Germans was not readily appreciated in America, and they didn't want the affiliation. So they lied for generations and said they were Scandinavian. But of course, when you do, there are other family members who admitted it, that they were not Scandinavian, that they were in fact German, and also people were investigating and decided to dig up their lineage and found out they were German. So much for lying. And his grandfather's name, although his American name was Frederick Trump, it was Friedrich Drumpf. So there's that. And like I said, and here's the irony. His grandfather, who came to America by himself, was broke, sis boom bye, the rags to riches story, actually died from the 1918 flu pandemic. Now get a load of that. So I know during C19, this sucker was out here stressed if they're trying to say like life imitates art or art imitates life. Ooh, Burger Planet. Sounds good. Oh, a nice rum punch. That song ain't good, boy. I could use a rum punch right now. Yes, guys, don't forget to like. And let me start welcome to the Nerd Herd channel. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, join, and become a member. Thank you for coming. You know the rules. Take your shoes off. You know in the culture, honey, we don't walk no shoes in the house. Take your shoes off at the door. Line them up neatly. Get a pair of fuzzy socks out of the basket. They're all freshly laundered. Put them on. Throw your feet up. Sit around. Stay a while. Join the family. Your family here. We got a lot to talk about. So, baby, the story about the Abercrombie and Fitch CEO, just as dastardly. I truly feel like he perhaps could be snitching. Or maybe they have a network of information that they already know and they're pulling the veil down. I know one thing. They are earning them governmental dollars, honey. They earning them federal dollars right now, baby. You think they're not earning that salary for all them years that we thought they was just getting that guaranteed check and that good health insurance? Oh, they working. They working right now. Honey, is he even a real person? I do not know. However, like I said before earlier, time is not linear. Time is cyclical. And so these people could be passing in and out of tears in the time-space continuum. It's not lost on me to understand that. And if you understand what Tesla was working on and things like that, they believe that they could open portals and people can do time-space continuum, be transient through time and space continuums. Listen, for all intents and purposes, he probably could have snitched on the Abercrombie guy. And if so, this is our opinion. Let's start out with, this is for only entertainment purposes and educational purposes. The views expressed on this channel are the opinion of the dopest nerd and protected by a First Amendment right to free speech, inalienable right under the Constitution. Please do your own research. There is no guarantee that any of this information is the truth, and all is alleged. Now, if he in fact snitched on this guy, he probably snitched on someone he felt was disposable, but that everybody who comes to the parties would be familiar with. Just to let them know, y'all next. Now, have y'all heard about this leaked phone calls? Let's talk about the leaked phone calls, honey, because they just got deeper and deeper. I mentioned earlier that he was saying the get rid of the boxes. What he was saying was get rid of the pizza boxes. What? You have got to be kidding me. Pizza boxes? Dre's channel. You can't get enough of it, right? I done told you. You're learning more than you learned in some YouTube channels than you ever learned in traditional school, correct or not? Y'all better get up on it. Y'all best to get up on it, honey. Wait till you get into IMQF. Yeah. I think Dre is the true OG of this type of those type of channels. He's the true OG. He's been doing it probably longer than the others, and so he has a really good rhythm with it. The man is unbelievable, and he plots it out in a way that tells a story. So I do absolutely love it. Y'all got to get on that. We're going to post it in the chat. There are some channels I want you guys to follow, and like I was saying earlier, for those who weren't here, you have to suspend your belief in all that you've been taught all these years. We have been lied to incessantly. Lied to. We have been misled, bamboozled, led astray, hoodwinked, and it's time to open your mind and consider an alternate perspective. Open your mind to the perspective that everything that you've learned along the way has been, I look super shiny. What's a little shininess between friends? I need to rub my hand on my face, get some of this ash off, but I digress. Open your mind to the perspective that we've been misled all this time, and that the real truth is out there, and the veil is being pulled down and has been being pulled down for quite some time. And now we are being made aware of what's truly, truly facts. There are a lot of things that they don't want us to know. We were intentionally misled. I mean, even down to the food pyramid. The food pyramid was created by, I think his name was Ansel Adams, if I'm not mistaken. I could be missaying his last name, but his name was Ansel. And it stood out to me because I have a cousin named Ansel. It's not a common name. So he wanted to be famous because he was coming up in a time where all of the psychologists were in the, out in the medical world, making a name for themselves and putting peer-reviewed studies and papers and schools of thought for psychology and all that and psychiatry out there. And he wanted to be famous. However, he did not have a scientific background, nor did he have any field of study that he could get a name in. So he created junk science called the food pyramid. You know, the good old food pyramid they told you about in school? Eat this, that, and that's what gave everybody diabetes. Child, if y'all don't get away from that diet, first of all, we should not be consuming any wheat. I keep telling y'all, wheat creates wheat belly or wheat gut. Wheat gut destroys your microbiome. Wheat destroys your gut microbiome. Your gut microbiome is equivalent to your brain. It is the brain of your physical body, your stomach. Get wheat out of your diet. If you are still making whiting sandwiches with that wheat bread, get it out. They told us that to hoodwink us. That's why everybody named mama got diabetes. Even though your grandmama and your great aunt and everybody always had good vegetables on the table, they all had diabetes. That wheat bread was killing everybody. Don't let me see y'all eating that. And if you see one of our brothers and sisters in the supermarket, you let them know. Excuse me, brother, can I give you a bit of information? Feel free to go look it up if you like. Please don't consume wheat bread. It's very detrimental to our bodies. Go look it up. It gives you weak gut, leaky gut syndrome, and it is dastardly. It's taking us out. If you must consume bread, the best bread to consume is sourdough. However, buttermilk breads are better than, and they told us for years, don't eat white bread. And yeah, we shouldn't. But if you're going to eat bread, sourdough, and then buttermilk in that order. If you're not able to really find sourdough bread in your community, go for like buttermilk bread. Some of them call it butter bread, but wheat, stay away from that. And I always got to say every episode, stay away from sugar. But darling, let's get back to these leaked phone calls, darling. Now, we're all netizens. We've all been out here in this blogosphere. We know what they've been saying in the internet about pizza. Hey, Dex, what's the deal, baby? I try to reach out to you. You ain't respond to my message. You know what they've been saying about pizza, the acronym pizza, what it means out there. I don't have to tell y'all. In this channel, we're going to make sure we stay monetized. We are not going to say things. We are going to mix up the letters when we have to use spicy language, or we're going to give it another name or something that all of us can tell. Hey, Auntie Leah, how you doing? This sucker is on now. Okay, here's the thing. The conversations are alleged to be the leaked conversations or the leaked phone calls. As we know, when you are incarcerated, all of those phone calls are routed through a private for-profit company. The federal government or the jail system doesn't own they don't process the phones. They outsource that to a company. And so this outsourced company, whether it be a correction officer that recorded the call or someone in the outsourced company, or it was just made public, which those calls are always made public. Somebody could have just done a FOIA search, and FOIA is Freedom of Information Act, which is a federal search that allows you to look up anybody's information that's public information and get access to it. And so they could have just done a FOIA search, got a record of all his phone calls. I suspect we are going to hear more and more phone calls. Now, and this, suffice it to say, this is more than likely why he is not being allowed to be released, because he is still allegedly telling what appeared to be his son, Christian, on the phone, get rid of the pizza boxes. Get rid of the pizza boxes and recycle all the plastics. So I've listened to a few content creators and their thoughts about what recycled plastics were. And I've been hearing a lot of people. So what's happening is content creators look at other content creators, and then they kind of, whatever they're unsure about, they look for people that they think are reputable, and then they piggyback off of those stories. And so there's this white guy, his name is slipping me right now. I'm going to look it up and I'll put it. He came up with this theory, recycle the plastics mean get rid of the flash drives and stuff like that. The Fed's got them flash drives already. Please. I think recycle all the plastics was recycle all the things that you buy at places called Starship late at night when you ain't got no significant other, or you just want some extra resources in the room. They're phallic shaped. That's what I think they're saying, recycle, as in wash them all, because they probably have DNA on them. At least that's what I think. Oh, yes, guys. We got the dopest mods up in the spot. Give them love. Ariani and Latoya. The rules are in the chat. Please be civil and respectful. Definitely ask questions. And misspell the names of the people who we shall not name on this channel. We know. And come out of the bushes and chat with each other, chat with everybody, get to know each other. We have family here. No, butter bread and potato bread are different, but you know, yeah, the serious code wording, and this sucker is like, get the lists, get the list. I'm like, what list? A hit list? What? I don't get it. And everybody's been trying to decipher these calls. Also, there is a young lady who is hearing impaired, and her family didn't want her to be to carry the stigma of sign language and being labeled as deaf. And so they taught her how to lip read. Well, boo boo, there is a video where Chris Jenner is talking to the person we shall not name, and she is reciting, reading the lady's lips and saying everything. And baby, you know she talking about a FO. You know she talking about a freak off. Oh my goodness. Mention the girl's name. There's some girl named Val. Everybody's now like, there's this whole hashtag and all this. Where's Val? Check on Val, because the girl's name was Val. She said she thought she was coming for a job interview, but she really got her stuff together. She really liked it. She thought she was coming for an interview, but she really enjoyed it. And it sounded gross. It sounded like they set somebody up under the guise of coming for an interview, and she walked into a FO. I said, girl transcribed the entire read her lips and said it exactly the way she was saying it. It was flawless. Unbelievable. Possible. I wouldn't say baby oil bottles, because they got them all. I mean, after the feds took 1,000, who cares what you're doing with the rest? They already got 1,000 worth of proof. So, and all statements are based on opinions, satire. All statements are alleged and are for entertainment purposes only. I don't think baby oil bottles. Y'all think it's baby oil bottles? Because they got 1,000. So if you even had 22 left, who cares? You got 1,000. This is what I'm saying. Who doesn't? But here's the deal. So I would say everyday run-of-the-mill people know that phone calls are recorded. Now, I will also say wealthy people tend to be tone deaf because they don't live everyday life like us, especially if you've been far removed from everyday life for an exorbitant amount of time. You will be oblivious of the rules of behavior. I don't know. He thought he was speaking in code, but it just sounded very nefarious. Like he's now asking his son to commit crimes. And then guess what his son said? Don't worry, Dad, you're going to be out of here tomorrow. You're going to get out on bail tomorrow. So clearly these are the calls of, at least maybe this first or the second or the third hearing. Oh my goodness. Well, that didn't age well. Oh yes, eating for your blood type is fantastic. What did you guys think? Yes, honey, I'll be John Brown and I'll be a monkey's uncle. You think it's the flash drives? But here's the deal. The feds took painstaking time to go to multiple residences and take what they had. Now, I don't doubt that there could very well be some laying around, but at this late stage in the game, y'all still got flash drives laying around? Like, I know people be slowisha, but that's, you got, there's a distinct possibility, but the likelihood, you got to be some kind of detached from reality to still have things laying around. I took it as recycle the plastic, because guess what? This child is amenable and suggestible to his manipulation. However, he was oblivious to the code talk. He didn't know what he was talking about. He kept saying, huh? And he was like, the plastics, recycle the plastics. He was like, you could tell when somebody don't know what somebody's talking about. You can tell. But he was trying to fake it till he made it, because from what, if we are to believe what is said in these lawsuits about his anger of repeating himself, according to the Little Rod lawsuit, and he wants everybody to listen the first time, and that's why a lot of things are recorded, because they don't want, he does not want to have to repeat himself. And he naturally assumes that he is going to get away with everything. Textbook narc. But listen, I'm like, you are still instructing. Now you are, it's bad enough you're incarcerated. You are now attaching your son to concealing. You are under a federal investigation, and you are telling your child to now. He didn't say call Pookie and Man and tell them to. You are dragging your child into a federal indictment. Like, what? Exactly. Like, they don't understand code talk, or they don't have people in the street, or they're not going to try to figure out. Now, these are alleged to be the calls. They could be AI for all I know. But according to our assumption, if they were AI, then we're talking about AI. Whatever they are, we are still trying to understand. Listen, over 100 terabytes they got. So what more could be laying around? Remember, closed caption made, CC made a so-called, yes. Yeah, that diss song. And yes, he did say they forgot the house next door. Absolutely. You're 100% right. But then the house next door is supposed to be a house where the families were, where the family members were, where the newborn baby is, and and all the family is supposed to be. It's supposed to be the reason that they had side-by-side houses, because one house was supposed to be completely off limits to anything. You got stuff in there too? You know how they on the internet they say New York is not a real place? This all feels like a simulation. I mean, it feels like a simulation. The level of incompetent sneakery is just so unbelievable to me. I'm just like, this cannot get rid of the pizza boxes. I was like, pizza. So we all know what they say pizza means. What do y'all think this is? Yes. VHS tapes, you think? Because I had VHS tapes not that long ago. My son was like, "Mom, get rid of this junk. Why are you keeping it? You ain't gonna be able to watch this." I still had some in my garage. But possibly, I mean, yeah, they could have, because if you're recording. But what do you think get rid of the pizza boxes are? Pizza boxes. I was thinking I don't even, I was thinking, can you say condoms, K? Y'all know Pig Latin? Remember Pig Latin from back in the days? I'll say mondoms. Boxes, you think? Mondom boxes? Maybe if they having a freak off, somebody has a box of mondoms, starts with a C, around the place for those who choose to use. I don't expect that if you're having group schmecks that you're thinking about that, but whatever. I would hope that they are, because it's a lot of stuff to pass around. A mess, I'd say. This is definitely the Matrix, honestly. Yeah, the non-common sense of all of them is it's really shocking. But then that's what happened exactly. So when you say get rid of the pizza box, shipping containers. Ariane. Oh my. Now that could be it. Maybe yes. That could be it. Pizza boxes. And recycle the plastics. What about recycle the plastics? Hey, Trinity, what do you think that means? That is a good guess, Dopest Mod. Yeah. We know what pizza is a word for. We know. But what I'm saying is he kept telling him, get rid of the pizza boxes. So the boxes would be shipping containers, because if you're trafficking, large things from elsewhere. Suffice it to say, oh yeah, I'm fully aware of it. Listen, that's why I said I'm fully aware of what it means. Now y'all know I live in rabbit holes. I be digging a lot of rabbit holes that's out there was dug by me. I've been on this for years. I've been telling people about adrenochrome since 16 years ago. And people was looking at me like, oh, that sounds crazy. That's nonsense. No. Shipping containers. Yeah. I'm fully aware of Eats a Pay 8G. Fully aware. We might need to bring back Pig Latin for these YouTube Gs. Who knows the Pig Latin? And we had potato language. We used to speak potato language. Y'all want me to tell y'all a potato language sentence? Somebody type a sentence and I'm going to say it in potato language. Let's see if y'all can understand it. Reports. Yes, exotic cannibals. Yes. No, if you look, somebody flew a drone over Star Island, and if you look at the plot of land that encompasses Star Island, and you got to drive. If you're familiar with Miami, you got to drive over that long bridge. Right on the other side, there is a shipping container dock right outside of Star Island. Crazy. You can't make it up. Couldn't make it up if I wanted to. Pig Latin? So potato language is just like Pig Latin. It's like, okay, she said, Auntie Leah, you snuck past me. LOL, peace and blessings. Abaton, TPT, Liberty, Abaton, you snuck past me, PPT, 7, blabberton, 7 things. Y'all picked that up? Was that too fast? Yeah. We used to speak that, child. Let me tell you something. We spoke potato language so much, my kids learned it like a second language in the house. We used to be talking it around the kids and talking it, and me and my sisters and all that. And then one day, one of my sons going to say something and answer the question. We was like, how you know we say it? They're like, you talk it all the time. I didn't know what that was. I was like, oh God, we've been talking all kinds of stuff in potato language. I mean, they grown now, but when they were little, they picked it. We spoke it so much, they picked it up like a second language. Like a kid would know English because they go to school and everything, but then would also know Spanish because that's the native language in the house. That went way over your head? Okay. So, Mapatai, Abatai, Papatai, Lobatai, GBTs, Ubitu, Werbitur, Drabatai, Vibiting, Epitel, Epitel. My daughter understands it all. I can speak to my daughter. My trusty dusty sidekick is down here. You hear me, Vaughn?
Yeah.
Oh. I could tell her something and she could, yep. You learned it from your mother and aunts. Yep. That's just how it is. Yep. Because you knew what I was going to say. But yeah, we should learn it. Maybe I'll teach a Pig Latin class, but then not, because then that's, how they say the game is supposed to be sold and not told. I don't mind teaching my nerd herd family, but then I think the powers that be, anything you put online, then the people that you don't want to access it will access it. It's like Gullah speak. It's like Gullah Geechee language. And did y'all hear about the bridge that collapsed, or the port that collapsed in Georgia? It was in the Gullah Geechee region. I feel like that's a land grab. They've been trying to steal that land from them for so long. And here's the deal. First of all, it was undesired land. The Gullah Geechee people were Maroons, fought off their slave owners and emancipated themselves and had that region. And it was theirs, and they had that land. They've been there for hundreds of years. Little by little, colonizers have come in, hustled Pookie, Man, and Keisha, who wasn't paying attention or didn't know no better, didn't understand the history or didn't appreciate the history, maybe was getting a little high, and finessed them out of their land. Oh, let me give you $30,000. They like, oh, $30,000. Snatched their little 30 G's, signed over the land, and it's worth millions and millions of dollars. And now the pier and the bridge collapsed that takes you to the Geechee Island. So you are literally stranding these people in the Gullah Geechee region of Georgia. I don't trust it. Smells like anytime you have a bridge collapse, anytime you have one of those outlandish things that happens in a particular area, it is a land grab. Or just like these weather anomalies and these storms that wipe the land clean, and then nobody can tell where their land starts and the other land ends, like was done in Hawaii, like was done in St. Croix and St. Thomas and all that not that long ago, like was done all over the place, Bahamas, everywhere. Those are land grabs. There's nothing pure about it. They want all this coastal water, and it makes sense now, because why would you want, not only are they not doing it everywhere, they're doing it to like Caribbean islands or tropical lands closest to the ports. Look at all the places that the weather has happened. Port cities, definitely the smart cities, but access to be able to get to shipping things. That's what they want. And now we know why. What kind of cargo are you so interested in having access to? Yes, the hurricane did hit there. They want the pristine land. That's where Trump threw what was he, in Puerto Rico, where he threw the paper towels at the people, told them, here's some paper towels, clean up your stuff, and threw a paper towel at the lady. No, they're taking the land so that they can live in tropical waters with quick escape when ish goes down in America and they have to get out of town free. They have access to boats. They have access to everything. They want to be able to live somewhere where it feels tropical and have access to the port to be able to either evacuate this place and go elsewhere, or friggin' have access to the port to bring things in that they can get past customs. Yeah, if you know, you know. Aquamarine goddess. Cuba, they go. Once Castro, his health was declining and his brother took over, I don't believe that his brother held things as rebellious as Castro did. I think he was more amenable to American thing, because like now everybody's traveling to Cuba again, like it's one of the local tourist things, and Cuba was the playground of the wealthy back in the days. Listen, you see the show earlier was called the Cat Williams Effect. It is not lost on me. A lot of people missed out in that opener of the Club Shay Shay interview. He says, this is the other side of Kirk Franklin praying. This is the reckoning 2024. You know what a reckoning is. That is a calling to order. That is a collecting and a gathering. That is a pulling people together, snatching pearls and calling people to the mat and setting everything back on track. The veil is being torn down. Babylon is officially falling. It is falling. And baby, it ain't start to crumble yet. The day of reckoning is here. We are in the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is a time of truth, uncovering, the breaking down of Babylon. It's upon us. It's upon us. It's not coming. It is. We are in the midst of it. Oh, yes. A lot of, and listen, like you said, the pandemic was planned. And I think a lot of things moved while we were locked up inside. A lot of things that you would, oh my God. Yes, guys, join the family, become a member. The different levels are the Poindexter, I believe that's the first level, or the Encyclopedia Brown is the first level. The second level is the Poindexter, and the third level is the Urkels, because once you are Urkel, you know you are 100% full out nerd, and it's a good place to be. Millions are still without power. There's actually somewhere in Tampa where the water is still rising. Post-storm, the water is still rising and it's not receding. Not only is it not receding, it is still rising. And guess what's happening now? Some people that have gone back to their homes and have tried to like just get back to life because they can't stay in a hotel or whatever forever, they are being inundated with alligators. There's alligators. They can't even walk in the water. Once the water is above your ankles, there's alligators all up and through going into people's houses. It's crazy. An alligator was trying to eat a car's tire while it was a huge gator. It's disgusting. I don't want to say what I believe it is, but it will become painfully obvious eventually. I don't want to say what it is because what I believe it is, because I'm okay with it. I just don't like to scare people. Like if you're not aware of this or of this ilk, I don't want to unnecessarily startle people, but too much is going on in this world. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the transfer rate in a lot of countries. But listen, that's soon to change because of BRICS. They are devaluing the American dollar. That's why everything is so expensive here now, because they're killing the American dollar. They were breaking down our immune systems on purpose, without a doubt. Absolutely. Absolutely. Indeed. So did you guys see the video of the gentleman who was sitting outside with his dog? I think I mentioned it the other day. He was sitting outside with his dog, and the news crew saw him right after the storm. And they walked up to him and they were like, "Oh, sir, you're sitting outside. Why didn't you go into the shelter and go to the FEMA camp and get some, protection from the elements?" And the guy was sitting there and he seemed disoriented, but I think he was more shocked. I think he was at the precipice of losing his fake mind and gaining his real mind. And so it was a shock to his soul. And he said, "Why didn't you go into the shelter?" And he said, "No, why should I go into the shelter? Because when I got there, they were unaliving people in the shelter." And he said, Ema and the Ed Ray Oscray were unaliving people inside the shelter. The man instantly goes, "Oh, clearly you're homeless. Oh, okay, we're going to go back to, we're going to, throw to the next person." Tries to shut the man down. The man looks at him and says, "Excuse me, sir, I'm a police officer." He tried to shut him down. He instantly didn't want the man to talk. Act like you know. They were not allowing them to get, and Flint still doesn't have clean water, indeed. And it caused listeria cases, and lots of people unalived. A long-standing, a slow unaliving, not a rapid one. Why it breaks down your body systems. Listen, you're 100% right. Everybody's sick of being bullied. Everybody's sick of being bullied, and not the least of which is every major society has fallen except the USA. Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, I am only talking about recounting history. Every major civilization in history, according to the history books that you guys gave us in school, has fallen with the exception of the United States of America. And I'm not advocating this. I am simply mentioning it. Do your own research. Oh, absolutely. Don't give not only do not ever donate blood to the Red Cross, do not give your biological markers and identity away. You give your blood and DNA to anybody. Stop sending your DNA out to these DNA companies. Have you seen the couple that sent their dog and a horse? They swabbed the horse's mouth and the dog mouth. They just sent off for the test. These people will talk about you Nigerian, you this, you that. Just foolishness. And then the entire CEO and upper level management of 23andMe all resigned. The entire administration resigned. Y'all better stop giving your biological property to these people. They come and you mess around and part of your DNA end up at a crime scene. Y'all better act like y'all know. Who was smart? Oh, the guy. Yeah, to not go in. I would say I agree. Is that what you're referring to? Hey, Atasha. Oh, Atasha M, 72. Indeed. Indeed. And in here, we're going to call them alphabet boys. We could say alphabet F or alphabet C or whatever their initials are, whatever the first letter of their initials, we're going to call them alphabet because we don't want them coming over here messing with us. I also saw on Dre OG's channel where they came to this man's door because they watched his YouTube channel and his TikTok. Them alphabet boys came and flashed their badges and was like, we want to know what you know. I said, my God. Mm-hmm. Oh, what they already said what they're doing with all the DNA. They are transferring it to what you call it, to law enforcement agencies so that they could look up all those cold cases. Yes. Don't put a heart on your driver's license. I'm getting a text message, guys. Excuse me for 1 second, guys. My apologies. Excuse me for that, guys. It's crazy. It's crazy that Flint still doesn't have clean water. Oh yeah, listen. The organ donation, I keep telling people, they got to get your stuff. Now here's the deal. Organ donation is a great endeavor. My husband, God rest his soul, benefited from organ donation. The difference is I know that in order for organ donation to take place, they are devaluing the lives of certain people. They have to take your organs while you're still alive. And so if they think you have vital organs that will be of benefit to people that they think are of greater importance to you, then they will finesse you and tell you all kinds of, allegedly tell you all kinds of BS like, oh, he's not going to make it. And how many times have we heard somebody say somebody's family's not going to make it and they made a full recovery and they out here, doing the walk it out at the cookout? Y'all got to be careful. Take caution, second, third, fourth, fifth opinions. And what it really is, you need to have a durable medical power of attorney, which names someone responsible that you believe in and respect and has your best interest at heart, and you need to have that filled out in advance. It has to be notarized and you have to serve it to your doctor or the hospital or wherever. Just it has to be on record that you have a durable medical power of attorney. You need a power of attorney, a financial power of attorney, a durable medical power of attorney. You need for people to be able to handle your financials in the event that you are incapacitated. You need someone to be able to have a say over your health if you're incapacitated. Make sure it's someone that you love, trust, and respect. And if possible, make sure it's two people so that there's a quorum, or even three, so that there's a quorum. At least two people have to agree to it, so that no one can just take you out because they know that they're in the inheritance. Oh, they don't try to save you when they know that they could get that liver for their cousin. You're right. Oh yes, because they see they have to because they give people that discount on your driver's license if you put that, and then most people take it because we like a discount. But my grandmother always said free is the most expensive price you take because it comes with conditions. And not that it was free, but that discount, that lure of save money, they taken advantage of us. Why do you think they like to harass 10 black guys hanging on a corner in any urban city? They don't see it as 10 black guys. They see it as the average cost. And this is years ago. I used to tell people this statistic. So back then, I would say about 7 years ago, the annual revenue for one incarcerated person was like $70,000 a year or $72,000 a year. So now, where the price of everything has gone up, 10 black guys on a corner is $1 million. That's $1 million of revenue for a local jail. They see y'all as $1 million. 10 black guys on a corner is $1 million. $100,000 a piece for a year. That's $1 million a year. $100,000 a piece for your incarceration. This, we walking gold. Gold, I say. So if you gotta hang somewhere where you are not susceptible, because once you're on that corner, anything goes. Remember, when the people come through, what they do, spray the corner. Every time you hit a corner, get sprayed. It ain't no drug thing. Sometimes it's organ harvesting. Remember that. Because look, we got cameras everywhere now. How come so many cases are still unsolved? And there's big cameras right on that corner. You can't see the license plate of the car that came and sprayed the corner and took out 7 people. That's 7 worth of organs. You think if they know they got some wealthy so-and-so across town that needs a liver and Pookie and Man laying on the table, you think they breaking their neck to save you? Somebody's going to pay a premium for that liver. So act like you know. Act like you know. Wow. A lot of people are ending up with pneumonia lately, too. A lot of people. And I'm so sorry to hear about that. I hope your mom is okay. So we were talking about the Abercrombie and Fitch. Abercrombie and Fitch have been. So are you guys familiar with the term yachting girls and yachting boys or yachting guys? Are you familiar with what that is? Abercrombie and Fitch always looked like that to me. Like there was this whole, I mean, they had to like see your picture before they hired you. If you submit a job app, you had to like submit a pic too. It always felt like you were auditioning for something other than selling clothes, because who cares what you look like? You have to be drop dead gorgeous to sell plain plaid shirts and jeans? Come on now. So, yep, sending parents to jail. Oh yeah, absolutely. The Kanika Jenkins story is crazy. And KJ, indeed. So are you familiar? You're familiar with yacht girls? Okay, so yacht girls, and there was something a few months ago during the summer, a story about Aoki, Simmons, with the old guy on the beach in St. Bart's. It looks like it's all, listen, what it looks like is a lot of these things have been schmex trafficking all along. We're too oblivious and too naive to realize it. Yeah, it's all about the looks. And if it's all about looks and everybody has to be rail thin and have this kind of look, then what exactly are you really auditioning them for? Yeah, it looks, I thought so too. Their billboards looked very suggestive and, seductive needlessly. It's jeans. Why do, yep. And with that whole Middleton thing, honey, child, we thought she was out of this piece with all submitting all those fake pictures. For the first time in its existence, the Associated Press had to do a kill order, a stop order on the picture of Kate because they saw so many edits they have software where they screen documents and photos and things like that. And it was just like, this picture is so false. You had a kid with the extra finger or a limb or something and all. That was ridiculous. And my thing is, what are you doing all of that for? Mental breakdown, mental schmakedown. I'm not just, listen, mental health is very important, and I'm not here to disavow anybody's need for mental health awareness or treatment or any of that. But there feels like there's something so much more nefarious there. She didn't have any mental health issues when she was harassing our girl, Megan. None. When she was gaslighting her like, I'm going to be the queen and I'm the this and the that, she didn't have no problems. The problem started when William started messing with the other chick who, you've seen her, I forget her, she's the Baroness of so-and-so or whatever, allegedly. And look, the chick got a child and they're saying that that's William's child. So I ain't even studying them folks over there. They a whole other, me can't bother with them. Me can't bother. But yeah, something strange for a little bit of change. Absolutely. Yeah, I think so too. I feel like she's out of here. I do. Rose, I think. Rose something or other is the other woman. We are talking about A&F. They are literally, I think, the fabric of everything. So let's make this. Oh, I'm gonna put this out here, and if we so choose to come into agreement on this, that would be great. Everybody, don't take my word for anything. Go do your research. It is my sincere belief that a whole lot of things that we all thought was just a thing has been this other thing right in our faces, and we had no clue. We had no clue. I mean, just think about it. In this country, we have labor laws, right? Labor laws to protect you so that, like we talk about all of these sites, Temu and Shein and all of them, and we say that they got sweatshops and little kids is making shirts so you could get a silky top for $2 and all this stuff. But I know somewhere else that's hustling kids to work too. And got them kids working all the time. Now, mind you, they're not working, 12 hours a day, every day for whatever. But I know there's a season where they be working the daylights out of them. Them Girl Scouts selling cookies. Be hustling them suckers. They be outside for hours outside the local supermarkets, hustling cookies. Labor laws. How are they benefiting from that? What do they get for selling all those cookies? Think about it. Everything that we thought was just an innocent little thing has been a hustle all along. Look at the turnout. I made a short about this. Becky been rubbing her filthy German Shepherd and touching the top of your cup, selling that smell like outside lemonade forever and a day. Ain't nobody had a problem. Ain't nobody asked for no permit, nothing. Pookie and Man and Raekwon selling commercially packaged water that is sealed. And everybody's up in arms about the water boys. Why? Like, we have been hoodwinked and have turned, you got more melanated beings mad at the water boys than anybody else. Nobody is recognizing that these are young men who, in this day and time where there are alternate streams of revenue, aka rugs, aka kick in the door, waving the 4-4, aka all types of other stuff, and they choose to sell a legal commercially packaged item on the side of the highway. Everybody's mad. Well, guess what? Boys are rambunctious. They play around. This is how boys are socialized in society. So if they're out there playing around and doing a little, it doesn't mean that they're bad. It doesn't mean that they're bad. I talk to the water boys all the time. When I tell you the water boys in Atlanta know me, I carry garbage bags in my car for them. I give them money. I sometimes I don't even want the water. I just give them money. And I'm like, here, go re-up and get yourself 3 more bundles or packages of water. Because guess what? If a package of 24 waters is $3.99 in the local supermarket, and I get them $15, look at the markup for that. It's all profit. Why are people mad at young melanated souls for experiencing their entrepreneurial spirit and selling commercially packaged water, which they haven't tampered with, they haven't touched, they haven't opened? What is the problem? Why is everybody so up in arms about them using their entrepreneurial spirit? They could be kicking in your back door. I don't get it. Yet our people are the angriest. I had to check this old man on the neighborhood app. Child, they done ran me off the neighborhood app. I mean, I'm still officially on it, but I just can't bother. They be out there talking so much junk about the neighborhood. The thing, I said, what do you hate more? Water or commercially packaged water or black boys? I said, because right here in Martin Luther King's Atlanta, the city too busy to hate. Explain to me why you got a problem with young black men being entrepreneurs. Why? Ooh, honey. Well, the older black guy who was in there and all his little henpecked hussies, oh, yeah, I'm with you. Honey, when I finally spoke up, people came out of the bushes and out of the woodworks like, yeah, give it to him, girl, give it to him. And I'm like, well, why couldn't none of y'all stand up for them? Y'all sitting in here letting this old man run ripshot over them. Why you hate young black boys so much? But it was giving that old talented 10, them over there, us over here. We're not like them and they're not like us. And, the others. It was given that. And I don't like it. I'm never going to stand up for any of that. I'm never going to stand up. I'm always going to be the voice of dissension. Excuse me. You got a problem with water? It's a legal, necessary liquid for your body. The healthiest thing you can consume, if you get the right brand. But whatever, I digress. The healthiest thing you can consume, commercially packaged, sealed, untampered with. Why are you mad? But Becky could rub the belly and got her hand all by the groin of the dog, touching his dirty hair while he laying on the floor in the hot sun. And then she take her hand and put it right on top of your cup. And they say, that'll be $7. At least they're selling you commercially packaged water for a reasonable price. They pick on braiders too. That's right. You're speaking to a hairstylist that has salons. You are speaking to, excuse me, as my grandmother say, a cosmetologist. Those are our future entrepreneurs. Why are they so angry with them? You know why? Because they would much rather their narrative and their lore would be pushed further if they were ascribing to the lore that they've put on them. Oh, these aggressive young boys out of control. They need to be locked up. They need to be like Hillary Clinton said, they need to be brought to heel. Same thing. If you out here selling waters, honey, then you don't fit the narrative of the story we've told. Hey, Trusty Dusty, show producer, what's the deal? I heard you singing up there, girl. You was doing it. Come, you want it? Here, there's one sitting right here. I heard you singing, girl. I wish y'all could see a Trusty Dusty show producer. She'll make an appearance someday. She got her bonnet on now, honey. Yeah, they listen. It is the persistent foot on neck syndrome. They got to keep foot on neck. We get into, free. We get into free. Thank you. It's not like they're selling, some food that's going to be recalled. They're selling water. Although water can be recalled too, and there's some low vibrational water. But listen, we're talking about entrepreneurship. That's for another day. What else did I say what were some of the other topics I said that we were going to discuss? Because, baby, it's crazy out in these streets right now. I can't get rid of the pizza boxes. When I heard it, I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. But clearly, there is a way. There is a way. I'm trying to figure out. It almost feels like some sort of movie or simulation. But it's, you know what it is? It's like when they say those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. And I've been seeing these things for so long and seeing a lot of things for so long. And some things I didn't see, but I've been seeing some things for so long that now that the veil is being ripped down, I'm almost astounded that it's coming out for people to see. I'm astounded. But because of the age of Aquarius, you know, that's what happens. Shout out to everybody who's in the room. Throw up the likes. Oh, everybody's saying shout out to the producer. Hey, producer. That's Nirvana. What does that say? Lifeumentary, right? Like a document. Child, life is a documentary. You're entirely right. You said we have to discuss the cases and Kells. Which Kells? Like trapped in a closet Kells? With the situation with his daughter? Ugh. I am not surprised. Because essay is a crime of access. It's a crime of power. It is a crime of opportunity. It is the nasty adult or family member who is at the whole cookout, the family cookout, and then sees a kid step away to go to the bathroom, and all of a sudden oh, I want a hot dog. Ain't no more ketchup? Where that ketchup at? Mama, you got some more ketchup inside? And then they sneak away nefariously and follow the kid inside. You understand? Like, these are real things. Shout out to Latoya for the super chat. I love you too. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, thank you all for spending your time here, because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with us. And we love you. We family. Take your shoes off at the door. Get a pair of fuzzy socks out of the basket by the door. Come in, get comfortable, put your feet up on the ottoman, put your drink request in. If you got your food and drink request in, the dopest mods, they want to know what you need. We here to take care of you. We a family. And I hope all is well with all of you. And Neek was in here earlier, and Neek said something so amazing. Neek said, this is the most, I said, what is going on out here? Neek said, this is God showing up, moving some furniture around. Some furniture and some people. Absolutely. Trigger warning. Yeah, we do discuss some heavy topics at times, and we prioritize your mental health over our views. Absolutely. Log off if you need to, and if you feel like this is too heavy for you, and we will see you in the next live. We are not here to offend anyone. We are not here to traumatize anyone further. And we do talk about heavy topics. So I appreciate, see why I say the dopest mods, honey. We ain't just the dopest. No, we got the dopest mods. We taking care of you. We are a family, and we are here for upliftment. And sometimes the conversations will be tough conversations to have. Put your bonnet on and grab your robe. Listen, now y'all know I love a robe and some pajamas. Now you talking my language. I absolutely love it. But here we care about you, and we want you to know that. We want you to be aware that we care about you. Your mental health is important to us. These are traumatic conversations to have. The potential that they may trigger someone or something that you've been through before. We want to make sure that we take care in preserving your ability to exist with us and have discussions, but not to be negatively impacted or affected. And so we love you, and we will not be offended if you have to click off and join us at another live or another video. We are not here to traumatize anyone. Indeed, knowledge is power. Absolutely. And that's what our intent here is. We want to share knowledge with you. Let's talk about something. I also was, I slide through some channels to see what's out there in the blogosphere, and they were talking about all of the artists that have been unalived or passed away in the last couple of years. The last few years, there's been an exponential amount of artists that have perished, and unbelievably so. And the irony is that some of them had deals, but a lot of them were supposedly independent artists on a particular distribution company whose name I will not say because I don't want to know smoke. I got enough smoke. And I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. Just a little light humor, a little levity to bring into the place. I'm really a comedian. But I was going to get a cold pop and I smelled smoke. I said, that's a fire. Somebody barbecuing? I got my shoes and ran, Lord. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. But a lot of artists are dying and they're, unaliving, and they are recounting how what you don't know is that a lot of people, these record companies and these artist labels or however they are, if they're actors or whatever, have something called key person insurance on the artists. And to me, I noticed when it happened to about 2 or 3 people, I started saying, hold on. Now, let me tell you what key person insurance is. So in the life insurance industry, in order to get your own personal life insurance policies, you have to go through some degree of underwriting. Now, there are policies that for older Americans or older people, I don't want to say older Americans, older people, we have final expense insurance, which is final expense insurance takes into account that people have lived a long life, have aged, have medical issues, and very well may be typically uninsurable according to typical larger policy standards. They would probably not pass the underwriting test. However, final expense policies are lower denomination value policies. Maximum is typically like $50,000, and they issue those policies under the guise and under the premise. Trusty Dusty, show producer, you still down here? Yeah. Can I get some ice water, sugar? Or actually, let me get some lemonade with ice. Thank you. So, like I said, final expense insurance is not just for older people. Anybody can get final expense. And the premise is it's a whole life policy. If you are under the age of 18, all whole life policies you pay them off in 20 years. Or some older people also, you can pay it off in 20 years if you're a certain age. Once you get to a certain age, I tell people don't take the 20 pay, take the regular one because it's slightly cheaper. And if you already have medical issues, such as, diabetes, things of that nature, the likelihood that you have another 40, 50 years is low. So take the lower policy. No offense, not clocking nobody's exit, but I'm just saying, based on life insurance is a study that is called actuarial science, and actuaries can look at. Y'all see me sweating out here in these streets? Actuaries can look at your lifestyle, go over a few things in your life, and it is a science. They can tell you what your lifespan is and typically how much longer you have. And that's why a lot of people won't qualify for typical life insurance policies because they consider it to be a bad risk. They want to get their value out of it. So the longer you're alive, the longer you pay for your policy, and it balances itself out. That's the conventional wisdom. But they know there's a certain subsection of society that would typically be deemed uninsurable. And so for them, they provide final expense insurance. The conventional wisdom is we are providing you a policy so that at the end of life, your family will have some few dollars, but they will also be able to put you to rest with dignity. In the purchase of life insurance, telling your doctors that you are a smoker is not the greatest idea because there is something called the MIB, which is the Medical Information Bureau, where everything you tell your doctor gets lodged in that bureau. It is a massive database. It is like a credit bureau for health. And so you could tell your doctor, oh, I smoke. Oh, child, did I caught my shirt?
No, I saw that though.
Merciful Father God. That's what I get for trying to have some juicy bling bling lips. Anyway, Let me just hold this tight and run this all again. Y'all saw that? I almost caught my shirt. But you see what I tell you about this trusty dusty producer now? What did I ask for? What beverage did I ask for? I said, bring me some lemonade. Baby, if this trusty dusty producer ain't gonna bring you no water, she don't play. When I tell you this girl healthy, I don't care what you ask for. She's bringing you water. You can tell yourself you want a Dr. Pepper. You getting water. What is going on today? I spilled the water on myself. That's because my body was rejecting the water. I wanted the lemonade, but whatever. Water's better. Okay, thank you. You heard me say lemonade. She brought me water. She's always going to bring you water. That's one thing about this show producer, baby. She don't play. She cracks the whip. Y'all can see I'm under manners, right? So now with final expense policies, they're whole life policies. And with whole life policies, once you've paid a substantial amount of money into your policy, you are able to then borrow against your life insurance policy, the value. It accrues money on a compound basis, and that is how people make money. Traditional policies, like I said, final expense policies tend to be lower. Now, in the obtaining of life insurance, the younger you are and the healthier you are is the best time to buy policies. All of you out there who are not insured, get insured. You know I'm a life insurance agent, right? You see, I'm a life insurance agent and financial services agent. But so the younger you are, the healthier you are, the lower your premiums will be. The lower your policy will cost and the lower your premiums will be, and the higher value you can attain for a lower amount of money. Most of the artists, based on their music videos that they show us and things that they would typically not be qualified for insurance, not under standard underwriting guidelines. Smokers, you're penalized for smoking. You're going to pay a higher rate for your insurance. And there's a lot of things that they do that would probably consider them to be, if not uninsurable, insurance. Some companies would consider them to be an insurance risk just because, in their videos, they smoke in trees, they drink it incessantly, all that stuff. Like, these are things that are viewed in underwriting. They're scrutinizing your lifestyle as well. However, there is an insurance that you can get on anybody, and that is key person insurance. Key person insurance is a business insurance policy. So what you're saying is, I have a record label, and these people are my artists. I have committed X amount of dollars into these people, and should anything happen to them, I would be at risk of losing my investment. And so I'm insuring my investment on them against risk. And then you can get people underwritten and qualified for insurance whose lifestyles would not necessarily comport with what underwriters are looking for when they are insuring people. The flip side of it is key person insurance is owned by the company or the respective, let's say, a manager, or if someone's a manager and now your manager really works for you, so they really shouldn't be able to keep people on insurance. But listen, people don't understand this manager thing. They think their manager's the boss. Manager's not your boss. He works for you. But whatever, the dynamic, record company executive, whatever, producer, whatever, they saying, I committed X amount of dollars into this person and I am insuring my investment against risk or loss. And then all of these artists are mysteriously ending up dead. And then they're double dipping because not only are you getting a policy, because key person insurance, those policies are big, huge. If you say I've committed 300,000, or the potential earnings and what I've invested in this person is massive, I want to indemnify myself against loss of my investment. You could put $3 million, whatever, on a person. Too many of these artists are ending up somehow unalived. And that bothers me because I work in the industry, so I know. I don't like it. And apparently, I watched a documentary, and apparently this has been going on for a long time in the industry. It is When you have eyes to see and the veil is lifted off your eyes and your third eye is uncalcified, your pineal is uncalcified, and you are seeing with your third eye, you are experiencing this everything with your third eye, my God, you can never unsee. You can never unsee it. And so I don't push this let's see, let me put on my glasses so I can see what y'all saying in here. I don't push certain narratives on people because I know everybody ain't able. Everybody ain't ready to handle it. Oh, Tisa, that's probably where I got it from. Tisa's the lip gloss queen. Is living insurance. So you mean insurance with living benefits. So typically that's a term policy with living benefits. Term policy with living benefits means it's a traditional term policy where you can get bigger policies. While term doesn't build cash value, and so you can't borrow against it, what it does, that new designation of living benefits means if something should happen to you and you don't, most people that have medical anomalies don't necessarily become unalived. So you could have a stroke, a heart attack, or any type of situation, God forbid, and survives. The living benefits will then kick in and they will give you the up to 90% of the face value of your death benefit. Now, you don't have to take the whole 90%, but you can, especially if you know you have been affected, you take that upfront money and you leverage it into what you need it to be. So you can say exactly, Ariane, yes, like Aubrey. That 360 deal worth $450 million. Oh, baby, that policy is massive. I'm certain of it. Yes, it's a loophole. And so living benefits, what it does is, let's say you have, God forbid, let's say a hypothetical person walking, taking care of her family, that somebody says, hey lady, I'm an insurance salesman. You want some insurance? And she's like, I'm healthy, I'm fine, I don't need that. And like, listen, we have, well, it's not in my budget, I can't afford it. How do you know you can't afford it? Who do you have to take care of your children in the event of your untimely demise? Who's going to pay for your children to live? Where are they going to live? Who's going to maintain the bills if anything should happen to you? Okay, well, what you got for me? I got a policy. We had a client who had 6 kids. She was a single mom. She had 6 kids, and she could only afford a policy, a term with living benefits for $24.99. It wasn't huge, but it was a $24.99 a month. That's what she paid. She had that policy for probably, I don't even think it was that long, because within a year and a half, she started feeling sick. She went to the doctor. They find out she had the C word. So she was paying her $24.99. Baby, them living benefits kicked in. She was able to take the upfront money and pay off the mortgage and put some things in place, set some things up. And unfortunately, she did not survive. But she had put things in place so that her children were able to keep the house. They were able to, the oldest child stepped in as the maternal. She set up things for the kids to have their own policies to go to college. It was unfortunately very sad. She didn't have that policy for that long. So you can pay something like $24 a month or $25 a month and be able to make sure that your children, it's the difference between passing the hat when somebody, look, the one thing we all gonna do is go home onto glory. Now, we all gonna go on to glory, but it's the difference between having to pass the hat around and wait till Keisha get her stamps so you can have a fish fry, so you can raise money to put your mama or somebody to rest, or being able to put her to rest with dignity and without the stress, so that you can then get to the act of mourning your loss and grieving and getting past it. Do you know how compounding on the passing away or transitioning is when you don't have, you're not prepared for it? And I don't understand why we're not prepared for it. It's the one, what we've been saying forever as Black people. All I got to do is stay Black and unalive. So why is everybody so ill prepared for it? Why? And why do people think that when we come and talk to them about that, it is you hustling, you trying to make money? I'm trying to save you from the indignity. If you know why I became a life insurance agent, you wouldn't say that. I became one because my husband, God rest his soul, could not get insured, and he begged me to get him insured. because he wanted to leave us something behind. He didn't want to be a burden. And when I tried to get him insured for 2 years, nobody would insure him. And I was like, what is going on in this industry? I was like, is it a black thing? Let me go study and get in this industry so that I could find out what's going on. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get him insured. He passed away. A week later, a company sent us a text that said, we will give him a final expense policy. A day late and $1 short. And so rather than to have, thank God I prepared myself and was able to pay to put him to rest. But, unfortunately, a lot of people suffer. The biggest loss of wealth in melanated families is the unaliving of somebody. That's ridiculous. We all know it's going to happen someday. That is how people lose their shirt and their collar, because someone becomes unalived and they can't afford to put them to rest. And then they end up losing property and all types of stuff because of it. Come on, y'all. Absolutely. Everybody, please, if you're interested in insurance, DM me. Let's get these policies popping. Like, leave your kids with something. It's better to leave blessings than burdens. It's better. Because guess what? We know what it is. So could a policy be used as collateral? Not a term with living benefits. What could be used as collateral is a whole life policy. So an IUL, Index Universal Life. Index Universal Life is a policy that is a whole life policy that builds cash value, and it uses compound pounding to build cash value. So your rate of money grows exponentially if your policy is written properly. Index Universal Lives are phenomenal for kids. If you get a kid an IUL, same way you will buy your kids a new pair of sneakers every month or whatever, get them an IUL for $50. When they are 18, the money that is in that IUL is so exponential. The beauty of IULs is that they grow cash value. They're not traded in the market. They're not in the index. They just follow the rate of the index. So index, anytime you hear the word index in a stock or any financial investment, the index prevents it from dropping. You actualize all the gains, but none of the losses. And so when actualizing all those gains, you build money through compound pounding. By the time that kid is 18 years old, you will not have to worry about, how are we going to get these loans to send them to school, this, that, the other. They literally can take a loan. I mean, prior to 18, you're the owner of the policy as the parent. And so if something were to come up, you could withdraw money from your policy to pay your bills. But in the event that you didn't need to take out any money, when that kid became 18, they would have this whole bundle of money. Policies we do 20 pay for kids. So your policy is paid off in 20 years and you keep it for the rest of your life. You don't have to pay another $1 for the policy. And then you have built up so much cash value that you can collateralize about. You can take a loan from your policy against your cash value. Once you've actualized a certain amount, if your kid wanted to take out some money to buy a car, take out some money to go to college, to have a wedding, whatever. Or if they wanted to take out some money, blow a bag. They have the right to do it, and they could absolutely do it. And then it continues to grow exponentially. And in retirement, it turns on a faucet of income for them during retirement. They get a check every month. You cannot beat this for $40 a month, $50 a month. And so, of course, everybody's situation is different. Let me definitely look at your situation so that I can, what you said, what's my correct Instagram? I hate Instagram. Instagram is a dirty alleyway, but Instagram is the dopest nerd as well. I can't stand Instagram. They savages over there. Me not like them at all. Savages. But, no disrespect to the Instagram people. I'm not fond of that platform. Not. Facebook, I think it's Ebony G. Ebone with an accent, Gee. If you got to reach out to me on Instagram or TikTok, do TikTok. Reach out to me on TikTok. Because, baby, me not like, when I tell you, I not like Instagram. I don't like it. I don't even like clicking in there. I just feel like, wipe me down. Wipe me down. I don't like it. But if Instagram is your preferred method of contact, then by all means, reach out to me on Instagram. Say, I want to get a policy, and let's, move outside of the internet. You were told to give me the scripture, James 5:1-6. Go, give it to me. Come on, hit us with the scripture, sis. We take prayers up in here. Now you know, as for me and my God, oh, I'm standing on faith. That's right. The email is the dopestnerd@gmail.com. Same as the channel, the dopest nerd. But that's definitely something you should all consider. Like I said, Index Universal Life is not traded in the index, but whenever you hear the word index, you know exponential growth. And it depends on how it's written, and it can be written with an increasing death benefit. So you can start lower, and the death benefit will continue to grow. And you will, if you get this now, by time you're ready to retire, so help me God. If you make a sizable amount of, if you fund it properly, and I always tell people you want to overfund, because most people, the powers that be out here, these people, they don't usually go to the bank to get money. They go borrow money out of their policies. They have enough. You don't have to have one policy. You can have multiple policies. Your kids can have policies. We have to get into this world of preparing for the inevitability. And I would tell people, a lot of people have 401ks. Listen, 401ks are not a worthwhile investment strategy. It's not. I know you've been led to believe that they are, but they are not. And I'm going to tell you something. The man who created the 401k, look it up. Don't ever take my word for anything. Google it. The man who created the 401k said it's the biggest mistake he ever made. 401k will take your money for your entire work life, and you are never getting all of that money. First of all, you have a minimum required age to be able to start taking distributions. If you don't take a distribution by that minimum required age, they will take a large sum of your money. You get a penalty. Not the least of which it is not taxed. It's tax deferred, so you get taxed on that money. So that takes a whole bunch of your money away. Most people never see the amount of money that they put in, as opposed to had they invested that money into an Index Universal Life policy, that money would have grown exponentially. They would have been able to then leverage once they built up their cash value after 5, 6, 8 years, they could have then taken a loan out of their policy and take that lump sum and dump it into an annuity, which continues to grow exponentially through the same compound pounding and compound interest. You get an annuity, so help me God, you will never outlive that annuity. Your kids will be able to inherit that annuity. You're not what you think you're looking for with 401k, you're not going to get that. I promise you. But like I said, never take my word for it. Go investigate, talk to other financial strategists. And when you hear that they tell you something consistent to what I tell you, come back and holler at your girl. I'm always going to give my people good information. I just feel like it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. God called me to this for a reason. And this is how I want to show up in the space. I want to be able to provide something of value to my people. Come on, sis, you didn't tell me what the scripture was. Let me look it up real quick. And I thank you for that. Hey, warning to rich oppressors. Warning to rich oppressors. Now listen, you rich people, weep and wail because of the misery that is coming on you. Your wealth has rotted and moths have eaten your clothes. Your gold and silver are corroded. Their corrosion will testify against you and eat your flesh like fire. You have hoarded wealth in the last days. Look, the wages you failed to pay your workers, the workers who mowed your fields, and are crying out against you. The cries of the harvesters have reached to the ears of the Lord Almighty. You have lived on earth in luxury and self-indulgence. You have fattened yourself in the day of slaughter. You have condemned and murdered the innocent one who was not opposing you. Baby. Woo, child, that's all right. I read it out, baby. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Asheo and amen. Baby, Suki. Now that was an almighty word. That's the new, every single, out here quoting scriptures anyway, but we are definitely gonna every live, every scheduled video will have a scripture. And it's the Nerd Herd family. Each one of y'all send a scripture, figure out a scripture or some. It doesn't have to be from the Bible. If you worship the Quran, it can be from the Quran. Give us a good word, because in here we speak in good words. Oh, Asheo. Thank you for that. Thank you for letting the Lord use you, and thank you for being that vessel, because that was an almighty word. That was, listen, you got clean black sneakers, like, whoo-hoo! Indeed, honey. Oh my goodness. What a mighty, thank you. I appreciate it. And Father God, I'm sorry for sharing the personal message if I was not to, but the book belongs to us all, and I know that's what you intended. But my God, what a mighty God we serve. Look at the timeliness. Speak, Holy Ghost, indeed. Look at the timeliness of this message. Look at the timeliness. And listen, I tell people all the time, I am a spiritual woman. Mine is a relationship with the Most High. I'm not religious. I think that a lot of religion has been created for the purpose of control. And I am not one to be controlled. I am like a bird. I like to, incidentally, I don't even like birds, but I'll say butterfly. I like to fly free. I like to fly free. I don't like to be caged. And the beauty of that is, if you got to shout, because the timeliness of this message is not lost on me. And clearly that had to be from the Most High, because look at the good word and the timeliness of it, the relevance in today. This is what's happening. Whew, girl, y'all don't make me preach a sermon now, because you know I will. You know I will. Time and space is on our side. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. It's this, we're in the precipice of a new world. Choose your side. Like Cat Williams said, you're either on God's side or the other side. The devil cannot give you anything, not even blessings for his people. He can't. He's barren. He couldn't even produce his own children. The devil is barren. And those of you who don't know that, now you know. He can't produce anything for you. And trust me, what he will do is produce the mentality in your mind that he is doing something for you. And when he come a calling for his recompense, like them old key person policies, when he come to collect, most people can't pay the price. Have you on the phone telling your child to get rid of the pizza boxes? Did I say that? Oh, excuse me. Did I say that? Oh, without a doubt, homeless. I mean, you see, he was kicked out of heaven. He out here couch surfing. And here's the deal. I always say, Trusty Dusty Sidekick, you down here? Come here. Indeed. What do I always say about the devil? He can only
jump in if you have the space.
You got to come so they can hear you. You don't have to come on this side, but come close enough. What do I say?
He only has access if there's a seed of discontent.
You heard that? Say it louder again for the people. So say it loud so the people can hear you.
He's only able when there is a seed of discontent.
He's only able to enter you when you already have a seed of discontent. He hops from people to people to people. That's why you could be walking down the street and he is hopping from people to people to keep trying to come against you. And when the more you walk in faith and the more you walk in light, he can't get you. So he's jumping from people to people, and he's gonna jump in people you know. He's gonna jump in people you love. But guess what? The only way he can enter them to use them against you, they already have to have a seed of discontent. They already have to have a little porthole for him to get in. The devil can only come in, but he cannot enter your home, whether it be your physical house or your physical flesh home. He cannot enter your home but by your invitation. He can't just enter your house. You got to invite him in. The reason he's able to use some people that look like you, love you, that you share bloodline with, because they have a portal of discontent. And the only way he can use some of y'all, not my nerd herd, those other people, but if anybody in the nerd herd, the only way he can use you sometimes is because there's that little seed of discontent that hasn't healed in you. Heal it. Don't hold grudges. Do not walk around holding grudges. It doesn't, listen, it robs you of your blessing. It robs you. That's right. Look up. And that is why, indeed. Oh, they said, shout out to the producer. Shout out to the producer. I say it all the time. Don't allow a seed of discontent to rise up in you, because it opens a portal to let him jump in and plant himself firmly and comfortably in your place. Oh, you're tearing up. Listen, I listen. When I say I'm true to this house is filled with the word, honey. I rain my children's down in the word because I understand God has never left me. For those of you that have never heard me say it before, I don't care what you're going through. You got a 100% success rate for everything you've been through. Because guess what? Think about every one of those times you went through something and you thought this was the thing that was going to take you down. This was the thing that was going to break you. And guess what? You made it through. You're here today. You're here today like, you know why? Because you overcame. Because the Lord has never left you. Like I always say, he told us, we've been so hoodwinked, bamboozled, and led astray. We have missed all the obvious things. In the Lord's Prayer, he said, give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses. You know what it means for somebody to give you your daily bread? It means he's prepared bread for you every day. He's prepared to feed you every day. And yet we still out here, child, what we going to eat tonight? How we going to get something to eat? He already prepared it for you. You just have to walk in faith and not by sight. At least not this sight. True vision. This is what I said to my husband. I was creating a nonprofit. I told him we want to open a nonprofit for vision impaired people because diabetes took his sight. And he said, well, what will we call it? And the Most High just put this in my heart. True vision doesn't require sight. Because it doesn't. You can be unsighted and have all the vision in the world. You could have your sight and be blind. I know lots of blind people that have sight. They are sighted and yet they can't see a thing right in front of their face. Are you walking around blind? Are you walking around deaf? Because the Most High, he provides. He gives us eyes to see and ears to hear. But the key is, in order to cash in your coupon and get it, you got to walk by faith. You have to be a faith walker to get those. He's not giving them out to just anybody. You got to be a faith walker to get those. It's like that golden ticket. Hey, that's why I keep that's why you keep your sneakers clean. That's right, because he's been so good to us all. We are 100% survival and success rate with him. We are here. It don't get no better than that. The world will have you believing that you're a failure. No, you're not. No, you're not. Guess what I put up today? I'm waiting for the print copy to get the little green check mark, the book. I did everything. I'm just waiting for it to land. It's in processing. It has to go through that processing period where they're scanning the book and then they'll put the check mark. They put the check mark for the ebook, but not for the print book yet. I'm just waiting for the check mark. It'll come like tomorrow or something. Spiritual, physical, and mental, indeed. And we have to clean. Don't just take a shower and clean your body. Don't just take a shower and clean your flesh, your skin. Take a shower and clean your spirit. Your spirit got to be cleaned. I'm so sorry to hear that, my baby. I'm so sorry, Loretta. Well, your family is here. And let me first and foremost, let me take off my glasses and say to you, because the Most High has called me to do this for lots of people. And so much people are always shocked when I do it. On behalf, if no one has ever apologized to you for what you went through, on behalf of whoever did it and violated you and hurt you and harmed you, I apologize to you. You didn't deserve it. You were not worthy of being treated like that. You deserved far more. You are a child of God and you deserved respect and love and nurturing and caring. And you have found a home here. And as long as you're here with us, and even when you have to go elsewhere, we are always your family. I mean, that good family, like grandmama's house. I don't care if every person in the family cuss you out. You can always come home to grandma. So come on home. You're home. Take off your shoes, relax your feet, baby. Put them, get the fuzzy socks, throw your feet up, lay down on your auntie's shoulder. You home. And I'm sorry that you endured that, but you got a family here. And all of us, let's send hugs and let's send some praying hands and some hearts to our girl Loretta. Thank you, baby. Listen, let me tell you something. When I tell you my dopest mod, I will always speak to, and I'm here, and I feel like I've been called to this. I am speaking to all of your hearts. Absolutely. That is a lot to go through. I love you, girl. I love you. I love all of y'all. We are a family. We are a family. We are called here for this. We are called here for this upliftment. Because listen, you could have been anywhere in the world. You could have chose to be anywhere in the world, but you decided to be here with your family. And for that, we are eternally grateful. Like I said, everybody in the family could have cussed you out, but you always got a home at grandma's house. Once you show up on grandma's porch, she's going to say, baby, what you doing here this late? What's going on? You all right? Who's that in that car that just dropped you off? Get on in here. Tell your friend bye and get on in here. Because you always got somebody. So, and listen, I heard a statement, these young people was like calling some chick on the internet, big back, big back, big back. And I heard a statement from a radio show host, and he was like, listen, all y'all talking that disrespectful stuff, calling people big backs. The woman who held the family together was a big back. Okay, Big Mama was a big back. And the aunties that, came and got you out the crack house was a big back. And all those things. So stop talking junk about the big backs. The big backs hold the family together. Maybe that's why the family's falling apart. Because everybody want to be, booty popping and snatched in the waist and cute in the face. And we ain't got enough big backs. Where's all the big backs at? Perhaps that's why the family is falling apart. Everybody has a role to play. And we got to remember that. We got to keep this thing going, keep this thing rolling. And if some people got to be a big back because that's the role, God don't make no mistakes. It's okay, baby. Cry. Tears are purification for the soul. Get them tears out, baby. You were with family. Somebody get her a Kleenex. That's right. Put some prayers and some hearts and all of those hearts. That's right. They had a spine, listen, and a strong spine. And no matter how big their belly was, they had thank you, George. I appreciate that. No matter how big their belly was, they had a strong core to hold the family up. Yes, baby. And the book is called A Shot in the Dark. As soon as it's live, you guys order your copies. I have a Shopify store, my trusty dusty producer set up and connected to this YouTube. We just got to make sure the link is connected, but you'll be able to buy it on Amazon. You'll be able to buy it on my Shopify store, all types of stuff. So everybody get your copy, A Shot in the Dark. It is a page turner. And I'm going to continue writing more because I'm a writer. And I also have a kid's book out there too. It's on Amazon. It's called Nirvana Socks. If you have children in your family, grab a copy of Trusty Dusty Sidekick. Bring me a copy of Nirvana Socks, please. Let me show the folks. Thank you. And so this book was written by myself and Nirvana. She was a published author as a child. You're welcome, baby. Sometimes what we need is not going to come from other people. It's going to come from someone else that you least expected. Now you don't need it for him. Nirvana Socks. It is about a precocious little girl who has an obsession with socks. Nirvana Socks. Let me read it. Nirvana Socks is about a precocious 8-year-old who has a fascination with socks and the age-old question, what on earth happens to our socks that go missing in the dryer? Come with us on a journey of discovery to solve the mystery and an unexpected happy ending. Me and Nirvana. And so we have a few more books coming out too. I've actually completed the other children's books. I have a book called Miss Kennedy Rubin. What are you doing? About my granddaughter that comes to my house and she hangs out with grandma and grandpa. And unfortunately, my husband passed away, but I wrote him into the book because every child deserves a grandma and a grandpa on both sides. So thank you. Definitely Nirvana Socks. It's on Amazon, and somebody tried to steal my book. Bring me that other bootleg copy, Nirvana. Under the guise of putting it on Amazon for me, he tried to. I had already put the ebook up, but he said, "Oh, I know how to do it. I'll do it for you," and tried to steal my book. Wait till you see the difference. Y'all gonna gag. Make sure you don't buy the fake one. It has to look like this. Although Amazon stopped it, I had Amazon block him. But this, I tell you, boy, people so dirty. It's bad enough you try to steal from me, but you try to steal from my kid. Look at this. He tried to steal my. This is the fake one. This is the fake one. My book had no border, but this is how dirty people are, how nefarious people are. Look, he done made the book back different. Dirty, dirty. I tell you, there's some scallywags and some scoundrels out here, but you see the God I serve, he'll never let nobody steal nothing from me. And then this sucker has a regular email address that he uses. I'm calling Amazon. I'm like, that's my book. You know what saved me? Because I had put the ebook version up the year before. I had it available for ebook. And that's what saved me. That's what saved me. And she was like, no, that's not the email. And then one day he had sent out, he was bragging about some other person he claimed he helped her with her book. And he had sent me a screenshot. And when I looked at the screenshot, the email address was there. I was like, try this email address. And I gave her the email address. That was the email address he put it under. And she was like, we're striking it. We're going to take it down right now. And they struck it and took it down. And he got sanctioned on Amazon. Why are you trying to steal somebody's book? Savage. Collected money, sold copies of the book and collected money. I ain't get a dime. I was like, these savages. Listen, what God puts, nobody, who God bless, let no man curse. You're welcome, Loretta. You're welcome. Everybody here is family. So I wrote another book called, like I said, Miss Kennedy Rubin, What Are You Doing? Which is a term I would say to her because she would come to grandma's house and then she would get really quiet. And when a kid is in the house and they're super quiet, you're like, what are you doing? And she would go in grandma's she shed. And that's where all my costumes and all my fancy clothes from long ago when I was a fabulous singer. And every time she puts on an article, she travels back in time and she goes and solves a mystery. Great book. And then I have another children's book called Handy Hammy Gets It Done. So my nephew, my younger sister who had a stroke, unfortunately, when she was giving birth to my nephew, by the grace of God, they're both okay and they're thriving. His name, his initials spell out Ham. And so I call him Hammy. And a lot of people call him Hammy in the family too. And so he is he wears this little tool belt and he's always banging and fixing something. And I just said, I got to write a book for him. Handy Hammy Gets It Done. Because he's always like, Auntie, I got it. Grandma, I got it. So I was like, you know what? Let me write a book for this kid. And I wrote that book. So we're just waiting for those books back from the illustrators. And then those will be live as well. And I'm going to write another, a sequel to, I'm going to continue A Shot in the Dark. I won't even call it a trilogy because I don't want to limit it, but the series. We're going to expound every almost in the eyes of Sister Soldier, how Midnight had a spinoff and this one and that one and all type. I'm going to continue like that because the characters are amazing. And I'm going to just tell you right now, the best friend's name is Akweke. I know people are going to see it and like, what is that? Akweke. That's right. Oh, you from Crown Heights, Brooklyn too? Okay. Joy to the world. The Lord has come. Hey. Thank you. Thank you, Green Black Sneakers. I love the concept. Me too. I'm a nerd at heart. Listen, and I'm a traditionalist. I like paper. Ebooks are okay to me, but I like to be able to touch paper and turn pages. Let me show you. I know I'm holding it lopsided. I got a little scoliosis. Y'all don't mind me, you hear? I'll read the dedication in the book. In memory of the greatest grandma, Vivian E. Mead, a.k.a. Grandma Boobin, Daddy, Roger L. Rubin Sr., and our dog Bailey, who have all blessed our lives in more ways than can getting emotional. In more ways than words can measure. Rest in peace. The Most High is pleased and has spoken. Job well done, my good and faithful servants. Come home. I don't. I'm getting so misty eyed. Somebody, Nirvana, you cutting onions? Whew, you cutting onions in here? My eyes are watering. It's okay, honey. You listen. It's never too late. You can always come on in here, girl. Akwake. Akwakae. Akwake. You're gonna. That's the best friend. She said, "I'm gonna act like I didn't hear that." And this is the preface of the book. Has your favorite sock ever gone missing in the dryer? Ever wonder where it went? One precocious little girl, Nirvana, is unsettled by the loss. Follow Nirvana on her journey of discovery to find her lost favorite sock. You'll never believe what she discovers in her search. These are the type of things I think of. Look at the family. Child, that's me over there in the corner. Y'all see how slim I look, girl? That's the good thing about being an author. You can make yourself slim. Look how slim I look. Mm-hmm. Y'all go out and grab Nirvana socks. It's on. When you look on Nirvana on Amazon, you're gonna look up Nirvana socks and also put in Nirvana Chronicles, and then you'll find it. It's going to be a series of books. The next Nirvana book is The Case of the Disappearing Ice Cubes. I feel like teaching the kids science and things like that about chemical changes and stuff like that without making them feel like they're learning. Easiest way to teach someone when they don't realize they're being learning. Yes, honey. You heard about them leaked phone calls. So are more calls leaked? Because I know the one was leaked. Have they leaked some more? What else have you heard? Fill us in. Oh, so you came to get the tea. Okay. Well, oh, thank you. Absolutely. Please do. I'd be so honored, George. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. The other books will be out soon. As soon as we get the back from our illustrator I have the same illustrator. I use her for all projects. Child, that pandemic put some pounds on us, didn't it? Because we were anesthetized. We didn't have motion. Now, the beauty of it is we got to sit down. Some of us our skin cleared up. The world cleared up. They have aerial views. You can Google it. They have aerial views of the world pre-pandemic and during the pandemic. The pandemic. And you can see what the world looks like. The pre-pandemic, the world had a lot of haze and there was a lot of fog and congestion in the air. And then while we were locked down, the earth was clear because all of the toxins from the cars were not on the road. The grass and all of the foliage was growing exponentially. It was beautiful. It means that we are contaminating our earth. And the trusty dusty sidekick is an environmentalist. That's one of her things. She's an environmental justice warrior. 17, the girl don't play. We spent the summer cleaning up the shorelines of Mississippi and Alabama. They planted black needle rush to help shore erosion. We did all sorts of stuff for the summer on an all vegan diet. And I was the mommy tag along. Child, let me tell you something about that trip. Now, as much as it was exciting and to watch them do their environmental justice, get down, baby, a raccoon that I have named Rocky took a liking to me because in the girls' bunk, they had indoor plumbing. In the boys' bunk, they had indoor plumbing. In the adults' bunk, we had to go to the outhouse 2 doors over. We get to the outhouse, there's a sign on the door that says, watch out for raccoons. What? It's 2024. What are you talking about? Baby, that raccoon had my behind running. Because, I go to the bathroom a lot at night. I'm at that age. And baby, I could not. That raccoon had me stressed out. This raccoon was outside the window. I had to put a thing behind the door, the garbage can, when we had a lock for the door. But then when, we'll go in and out. They want to leave the door wide open. My bed is the first bed to the damn door. I'm like, Rocky not coming in here to get into bed with me. Baby, Rocky was harassing me and gaslighting me. Rocky and an armadillo. My pressure was up. Trust and believe. Up. Baby, we was definitely eating. So other calls were leaked too. Ooh, tell us, fill us in, girl. Give us the tea of the other calls, because so we didn't discuss the please get rid of the pizza boxes. Get rid of the pizza boxes, and we have a theory about. Well, we have a few theories about what it means to make sure you recycle the plastics. Make sure you recycle the plastics. We have a few running theories about what recycle the plastics mean. I have my theory. I think he's saying recycle the plastics as in recycle the items that you buy from late night stores called Starship. And they're not really plastic, they're rubber. They shape like a phallic. And the nickname for it is BBC. Maybe wash those so that the deoxyribonucleic acid. Your girl is an official for real nerd, not no fake nerd. DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. Wash it off. That's what I'm thinking. So that's my theory. Other people are saying recycle the plastics is flash drives or VHS tapes or something like that. Let's see. Oh, I used to work at the library too. I loved it when I was in high school. I loved it. Listen, I was Encyclopedia Brown growing up. And guys, we are now a monetized channel, so be sure to join your membership. Get a membership. The 3 levels of membership is the Encyclopedia Browns. The next level is the Poindexters, and the 3rd level is the Urkels. Because once you hit Urkel level, baby, you is a straight up nerd, and that is dope. But join at the level that you want. We have member only things like member only videos. We'll have member only merch, badges. I'm having the emojis drawn up now. And all types of perks. Yeah, raccoons got these little hands. I can't stand it. They found one of the raccoons at the dumpster with the dumpster up trying to steal stuff. It was gross. Like, when I tell you, I do not. I'm sorry, I don't like Rocky. He was antagonizing the daylights out of me. He literally, I could call him Kendrick, because baby, he was like, sometimes you gotta pop out. He was popping out on me like it was crazy. What bust? What bust did they make in California? Was it the Abercrombie and Fitch guy? Yes. All statements are made based on opinion, satire, and are alleged, and are for entertainment purposes only. For this channel, we will not be using proper nouns for he who will not be named. We will call him everything, but we will not call him that name. So we will speak other names. Hey, the dopest nerd. Tell us about the bust in California. What bust? Yes, they were definitely less chemtrails as well. Oh yeah, we heard about that, honey. The car. Girl, I forgot that part. Thank you, girl. King Blue hair. So listen, the diddler did not just say, I can't pay for young fella's car. He said, tell that light-skinned ninja, and he didn't say ninja, to get a job because he's 30 years old. Pay for your own car. Meanwhile, the other one, from what I hear on the streets, this is just alleged, my opinion, what I heard on the streets is he just bought 2 Cybertrucks, one for him and his boo. Did anybody hear that? What's Trash Panda? Am I lost? I'm a nerd now. You know some of these things I don't know. What basketball player confessed to a freak off? Who? What basketball player? Ooh, honey, y'all ain't sitting in here holding back on the tea. Now listen, this is not just my channel. This is our channel. Y'all please go ahead and drop whatever. And we're not gossiping. We're simply discussing current events. Drop your current events news in that chat. Huh? Who had cannabis? Was it at a particular business or somebody's house or what? What? Yeah. Let me get into this here. A basketball player. A female basketball player said she was in the freak off? Wait a minute. Don't tell me it was that one that got pow by that cop. I saw that on, was it her? Please don't tell me it was that one, because that was a tragic video to watch. Yeah, I realized that he asked, "What's up with Jay? Did he come?" Baby, it's so you know what this shows you? If the powers that be and the haves do this to each other, what you think the have-nots gonna do? Listen, this thing is telling you, unless somebody is your friend, they ain't your friend. Let me see. He definitely did. He said he's ghosted. He ain't think about your monkey. You better think of another plan. He most definitely said that. You see how people prioritize themselves when it gets hot? Like they say, if you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. What female basketball player admitted to being a part of the freak-offs? Boy, they sure ain't telling me not. It didn't yield me anything. God bless the child that got his home. Your mama may have, your papa may have, but God bless the child that got his home. Rich relations are a crust of bread and such. You can have it, but don't you take too much. Who? Oh, say word. Well. So one of my friends sent me a text message. I'm gonna hold this down for now. I'm gonna say this another time. Sorry, y'all. I hate to tell people stuff and then take it back, but I'm not gonna. That one I'm gonna hold. I'll be back with it, but I'll hold it until. I don't see. So you say it was a female? Singer claims about these freak-off parties with NBA players. I don't see it, guys. Oh, you gonna send me an email? Okay. They're probably trying to scrub the internet of it right now. Sonique reviews. I'm not. They said Angel Reese was there? Humble clot. She do got body yaddy yaddy. She got body yaddy yaddy. So, gosh, she let herself get pulled into that. What you are telling me, say, girl, why you let yourself get pulled into that? You know what it is? She looks atypical to what we traditionally expect, or what, not what we, but what the world traditionally expects from a WNBA player. They expect them to be more masculine, and by definition, they've been more masculine. We while we've seen some that are still on the feminine side, they typically don't present how she presents, especially out of uniform. My gosh, girl, why'd you let yourself get pulled into that? Oh, Lord of mercy, Father God. So she came off and came out and admitted it for herself. I guess she said, let me get ahead of it. Getting fired by Chicago. She got fired? Are you kidding me? Is this real? Now, you know, y'all got to be careful of some of these stories. Some of these is, although I did hear that they call him Burner Boy's name connected to it. And you know what's crazy? I hope it doesn't sound shady, but I was like, how did Burner Boy just start taking over the airwaves? He just rose exponentially. Let's see. What did I just do? Something don't want me to read this story. Y'all sure this a vetted story? Is she really? The dopest nerd, THADOPESTNERD at gmail.com. I hope these are fake AI stories. She's so young. I, what I'm seeing is like her being serenaded by Usher at a LA concert. And why would somebody just allow themselves to be serenaded by Usher? They better stay away from that. Listen, we live in a world where people are handing out 2 piece and a biscuit like it's nothing. Handing out Samsonite luggage. You know, Samsonite luggage so good that you keep it forever. There's a lot of people I don't know if y'all familiar with some of these terms. A lot of these are northern terms. So a lot of people with a house in Virginia. Y'all know what that means? $191 million in illegal plants? Wow. Wait a minute. They shutting down the FOs and the streets is about to be dry? Woo-hoo! Baby, they trying to tear this place up. The streets is about to be dry. 191 million is a lot. Let me look now. She's so talented. Like, people need to have handlers, or, and when I say handlers, I won't say handlers. I'll call it what we used to call it back in the days, a den mother. You know, where, let's say, a kid and or two or three people went off to college, and then let's say a cousin moved to that town so that she could be a den mother, watch over them. Yeah. I seen that too. But people have a lot of audacity to I'm gonna put up the finger for, like, the church. I'm stepping out of the pulpit, not out of the pulpit, but out of the chapel. We You know, they say some stuff you have to yeah, a lot of dysfunction. And listen, not for nothing, a lot of our families are functioning in dysfunction too. Oh yes, Samsonite luggage. Y'all know what a house in Virginia is? It's an old school term from up north. I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with it. Here's the thing that I'm alarmed by. With all this group, there you go. Okay, no, don't put the thing face, cause house in Virginia, house in Virginia. With all this group activity, these people are not concerned, or do they have a cure? Look at the term again. Take the words and make it an acronym. Just the first letters. They must got a cure or something to be this casual. You caught on, Joy? That's an old term from back in the days up north. They'd be like, watch out, girl, he got a house in Virginia. I guess if you got it, put the laughing emojis. Okay, yes. So what's up with all this group activity? Because the one thing I heard about everything, but I ain't heard about no magnums. Y'all feel me? Like, how is everybody so casual? Because what are we to believe? This thing don't pick and choose. It's equal opportunity. So everybody getting it. So if you got 30 people in a room all doing whatever, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got a house in Virginia? I don't understand. Am I the only one that's weird for thinking about that? As well as other, because you know they say everybody got the herp. They say they all got the herp derp now. I heard I should be passing out herp derp coupons for chat. I don't get it. Like, why am I more concerned for them than they are for themselves? Because it trickles down. Mind you, you're taking random people off the street and bringing them into it, and then sending them back up to the world. Child, you sending them, and I'm gonna tell you so. I don't want to call nobody out, but I'm going to say certain things, and y'all go do your research and figure out what I'm talking about. There's an artist that said, "Don't touch me in no crisis." As soon as I heard the crisis, I was like, "A herb derp crisis?" But because people make songs so melodic and stuff, oh, baby, joy to the world. The Lord has come. Yes, honey. I've been thought that. Listen, I, I'm starting to think that. I'm starting to think that black gold. I'm starting to think that because what in God's green earth? Is it just a indifference? I don't get it. Child, that's some nasty work right there. That is scary. And again, all statements made are based on opinion, satire, and are alleged and for entertainment purposes only, and are protected by the First Amendment right to inalienable free speech as protected in the United States Constitution. And it is just for entertainment purposes only, and it's opinions, and it's not facts. Please don't land and sit here and think everything is the truth. Everything on this channel is alleged. Go do your own research and make decisions for yourself. I know, maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe they out here with some cupcakes or pills or a beverage or something. Maybe the cure is in. I'm going to say it like the country people say. You think the cure is in the Earl? Maybe that Earl is the cure. I don't know. And Black Gold, that just took my breath. That would be horrendous if that's why they like A minors, because they are trying to destroy society. Are they trying to burn society down? Oh, child. Mm-mm-mm. Me too. I'm glad I never had a groupie ambition. KP. I'm lost on that one. Joy to the world. Indifference is some nasty work, baby. Indifference, let me tell you. Let's illustrate somebody with righteous indifference. Remember in Black Panther when our boy was like, he was the outside kid, and he was like, "Hey, auntie," he was the American kid left behind, and he didn't feel connected to the Wakandans, and so he was burning up the purple flower, the purple herb. That indifference, like, who cares? I'm gonna turn. Oh, my bad, joy to the world. I'm slow, and baby, let me start speaking some language. C'est vrai. Anybody parle Creole or French? Yes, honey, the Earl. Listen. Oh my goodness. Okay, joy to the world. Take that out. We don't want no problems. I know I got stalkers, and take that out. But yes, you're 100% right. That is what I believe. That is what I warmonger. That's right. Baby, you ain't lying. No, the only thing I'm talking about is the KP. Take the 1006 out. Yeah, I agree. And that is so scary because what is the objective? Don't we do things in this life with objectives? So what's the objective? What are you trying to do when you are not only swapping spit, but then going and getting innocence and swapping spit and planting seeds there? What are you trying to do? Is there some greater attempt that we don't understand? What movie? Oh, yes. That movie, Black Panther. You're right. Ooh, child, they was lining you up. They was gonna buy your shoes, outfit, and everything. Girl, they was oh yes, honey. Oh yes. Tisa, anybody who follows Tisa, and like I said, shout out to Tisa Tells and the Tattletales. Y'all is our cousins. Y'all come on in here at grandmama's house. Take off your shoes at the door. And remember what she said, wash your hands before you go in that fridge. Put some fuzzy socks on from that basket in the front. All the socks is clean. They are freshly laundered. And come on in here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tisa ran us down on the Jonathan Adi back in the day when it first came out, baby. And he laid it down. He laid it out. And oh my God. Yeah, the stats are, yo, let me tell you something. Anybody in our family live in Texas? Who lives in Texas? I mean, it's up everywhere because it's definitely up in Atlanta. But baby, they say Houston is a hotbed. Woo, child. So everybody in our family, please be careful. And listen, if anybody in our family is affected by that, their loved ones, they themselves, we are not judging, we are not criticizing, we are not making light or fun of it. It is a tough thing to have, and there are treatments available, and that goes for anything. There are treatments available. You can take a homeopathic route. You can also take traditional pharmaceutical route, whatever you so choose. We are not making light of it or fun of it. We are simply hypothesizing on what is the intent and whether this could be, another facet of it. It is rampant. These are things we need to talk about. We need to have the tough conversations. We are a family and we are having the tough conversations that need to be had. We are not trying to make light of anything. We are not trying to make jest of anything. We are simply having the tough conversations. For anyone who wasn't on before, I'm just going to show the book again. This is my children's book, Nirvana Socks. It's available on Amazon. Put in Nirvana Socks, and then you can also add Chronicles or the Nirvana Chronicles, and it'll come up. Grab yourself a copy. Get a couple of copies for some friends. You got friends that got kids, add that to your Christmas basket or your Kwanzaa baskets. Indeed, yeah. I've heard, and no disrespect to anyone. We mean no harm. We are simply hypothesizing and theorizing what the motivations are and how people that have access to resources and finances and everything that society says makes you have the American dream and to be so careless with their bodies and health and things of that nature. And we're not saying that anyone has it. We are simply, everything is speculative. This is just conversation, opinion. It's not predicated on fact. All of these are alleged. Press that like button. Remember to subscribe, comment, share, turn on your notifications so that you don't miss a thing. And membership starts at $3.99. We have the Encyclopedia Browns level. We have the Poindexter level. And then we have the Urkel level. So come on out the bushes. And y'all come be a part of the family and interact. And we accept all our cousins, even the slow one off in the corner. Come on over here, baby. Come get in the mix because you can play spades good. Get on in here. There is so much going on in this world. I pray peace over everybody's soul, mind, body, spirit, flesh. We are whole, we are healthy, we are healed of mind, body, soul, spirit, flesh. We are completely covered and anointed. We walk in faith and not by sight. Absolutely, these books are a phenomenal gift. They are, and all the books. I just think we need to get back to the fundamentals of life. Like everything's not a techie, this, that, and the other. My granddaughter, she's like, Grandma, can I have some Robux? Grandma, can you send me some money for Robux? And I send it all the time. But, she's a reader. Now, she's an avid reader. But reading is big. Like she was like, I said, come on, let's go. I love to take her shopping and just go buy her something. It doesn't have to be anything big. It could be slime, whatever. And I'm like, let's get a board game. But we played games. We still have family game night. We need to get back to the old, thank you. We need to get back to the old fundamentals. Family game night. What happens when the power grid shuts down and we ain't got no internet? We're going to have to be able to humor ourselves. What is this entire generation of kids going to do? They are going to be like, I'm bored. I'm bored. They don't read. They don't touch paper. They do everything on the computer. We have to get back to if you got kids in your life, I don't care what book. I'm not saying Nirvana Socks, although available on Amazon. Get your copy. Nirvana Socks will be a great book for them to read. But because it answers the age-old question. Who among us has not lost a sock in the dryer and wondered, where is this sock? It goes somewhere. Your sock has a journey. I have the answer. It's in Nirvana Sock. I know where it goes. I know what happens to it. Get the book. But we need to play cards again, and we need to read books, and we need to play board games. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, we love Tisa over here. Tisa is family. We need to play board games. We need to do family fun nights. And maybe that's what we'll start doing. We'll try to do a thing where people in multiple cities, that we have groupings of nerd herds, and we might have to travel from few cities and do a family fun night, like a big family game night. I'm into stuff like that. Puzzles. Listen, girl, I buy so many puzzles. I see puzzles on sale right under this thing. I could pull out 5 puzzles right now for you. I believe in puzzles because it generates focus. It calms you down. It quiets you. It makes you focus. You're not hyper-stimulated with technology, and then you have to really use your mind. So it creates cognitive reasoning. You have to focus and look at the picture and try to match, okay, where does this go? Trust me, puzzles are great for fine motor coordination and eye-hand coordination. Excellent. And just a fun activity to do with the kids and to log off of the internet. Absolutely. I loved it. Listen, let me tell you how much of a nerd I am. Y'all gonna laugh. What I used to get in trouble for. After school, we would get on a train and go to the library. And all of us would pile up. I went to a school where we were like, one of the young men I went to school with got a perfect score on the SAT back in the days. Like everybody, being smart, we had the highest reading test scores in District 17 in Brooklyn, New York. Let me tell you something. In the 5th grade, we were all 12.1, 11 point this. If you had a 9 point something in the 5th grade, in my school, if you read at the 9th grade level, you was short bus shorty. Okay? We was like, 9? Oh, heavens. Go sit over there. We were a group of overachievers. We were linguists. We were, I went to school with some brilliantly, fiercely intelligent. One of the gentlemen who I went to school with was the COVID czar in New York. He was in my class. Like I grew up with him. He was a doctor that was over, the vid. Sorry, YouTube. That was a Freudian slip. I'm still learning. Over New York and over the vid. people that, you know, I went to school with the young man who started Upscale magazine, just all types of stuff. Like, we were a bunch of scholarly kids, and I come from a tribe of nerds that, I'm telling you, if when we got our, you know, we used to take the standardized test, we got our test back, you'd be like, what'd you get? What'd you get? You see people hiding their paper. They don't want I'm gonna take it home to my mother. They don't want to tell you. We're in the 6th grade and they got a 9th grade reading level. We looking at them like, you might as well be in special ed. We were all 12.9, 12. We had high grades. That was our thing. You could not flex without that. That was our flex. And I was happy. Like, I won spelling bees and effortlessly. And that was my joint. And then I would mix with, you know, the cool kids and in my neighborhood or whatever. And they'd be like, girl, don't nobody care about all that spelling, all them words. Listen, I was, as they say, cool and nerdy. And I never gave a diddly squat what anybody thought. I promise you, I never did. Yes, I love playing all. I was coloring. We went to IHOP the other day, and you know how they give the kids the little coloring menu? I promise you, I was coloring. I said to my granddaughter, you don't want to color? She's like, no, thanks. Baby, I was coloring that paper tablecloth that they give them placemat. Mm-hmm. Connect for trouble, all of that. You're right. I love all of that. I love coloring books. Perhaps I should put out some coloring books. A train? Yes, child. Uno, oh Lord, my son and all of them, when they get to Uno, baby, you want to see some family. We have family game nights, so they go buck wild. But you know what one of my favorite games is? Now, it does use, that's right, that's why we are the family, the Nerd Herd family. It does use technology, but it's like, it's called For the Culture. Most people think of it, you hold the cell phone up on your head and it has the thing, you can't see it, but you have to either flip down if your team gets it right or flip up. Heads up, they have a heads up, but they have one for us called For the Culture. If you never played it, at your next family get together, pull up the app For the Culture and play that thing, baby. First of all, it's going to let our people know how much we do not know. Well, I know the answers. They get mad at me. My team always gets mad because they know when I come up, they know what I want. Black history. They be like TV shows, dances. Black history. They be like, can't nobody answer them questions but you. I don't care. I want Black history. They be so mad at me. I be reeling off WB Du Bois. I be reeling off answers. They trust me. I work their nerves too. Uh-oh. Not Scooby-Doo. Listen, did you hear that the Scooby-Doo characters were based on real people? And I think they had committed crimes. Yes, each one of the characters was based on a real person. And when you see their pictures, you're going to be shocked because they look just like the people. Yes, I'm going to create some coloring books with some culturally relevant things for us. For the Culture is super dope. Listen, Monopoly takes a long time, but let me tell you something. My sons and my nephew, they get together. They be at grandma's house, at my mother's house, or my house, and them suckers get together. Monopoly is a big thing in my family. Them suckers be arguing and going off, buying up because my mother's a real estate maven. My mother buys. She is a real estate queen. And I don't mean from Monopoly. I mean in real life. So my kids buying, my mother was telling them about acquiring property and buying blocks and stuff like that from a very young age. So Monopoly represented the ability to be Grandma Gloria in game life. Baby, when I tell you they have all out battles, like people go off on spades or dominoes, that's how they are in my family for Monopoly. Yes, honey. Scooping people, just snatching all your properties and all that. Colonization. I'm telling you, it's that deep on that game. Oh, yes, honey. Yes, honey, because they got them black crayons. Listen, I bought those for my granddaughter. We chocolate up in this family. Trusty Dusty Sidekick is the producer, is one of the lighter ones, and she couldn't stand it. And baby, that thing be tanning. She's nice and cocoa now, right? Where you going, upstairs? What you was cooking?
No, I was watching TV.
Okay. Yeah, they for real. The Scooby-Doo people are real. And it came out. See, something about this internet. They wanted the internet to serve their purposes. I don't think they ever intended it to give us the level of information that it has. Because remember, a lot of the other platforms are controlled. Facebook controlled, IG controlled. X might be a little not so controlled. It's controlled based on the oligarch that controls it. So it's controlled to his standard. But that old TikTok, oh baby, that's why they don't like TikTok. Because TikTok, I'm talking, we got educations, we learn things. I've been on this earth 54 years. I learned things on TikTok, my God. Unbelievable. TikTok out here teaching us all types of stuff and they can't take it. No, I don't think they were solving mysteries. I think they was committing crimes. Peace and blessings, family. We're going to run it for the next 14 minutes. We're going to ride it out to hit the 3-hour mark. So let's come up with some things that we think we should talk about upcoming. What kind of stories do y'all want to hear about? What kind of topics do y'all want to discuss? What should we be discussing? And like I said, anybody, TikTok is the news. TikTok and YouTube. Anybody who is interested in the insurance, if you were all on here while I was talking about the insurance, if you're interested, by all means, hit me up, DM me on TikTok or Facebook or IG if you must use IG. That's my least favorite social media platform is IG. Messy boots. But you know, it is what it is. It's a platform and it serves a purpose. I'm not going to besmirch the integrity of it, but you know, if I have my pick of the litter, it won't be in my top 5 or top 10. We love you here. We ain't rushing out the door. We still, you know, yeah, definitely the insurance. Oh, you saw the picture? Isn't it crazy how much they look like them? My goodness. But that's with everything. They said the Teletubbies is about some children that were in a orphanage and they suffered from different illnesses and everything. There's a backstory to it. And we sitting here thinking it's one thing and it's a whole other thing. Oh yeah, the claims adjuster, they're actually hiring for claims adjuster a lot. It's based on all these storms and stuff, but let me advise. While there is money to be made in that field, you will also take some trauma with you, okay? Because to be a claims adjuster, you have to be on site. Now, I know some people say there's remote claims adjusting, but you have to go on site. I told you right now, in a lot of places, alligators are in that water. You got to go out to those houses and check those houses. So while it seems like erstwhile good access to income, and I'm not saying don't do it, I'm saying proceed with caution. There are still annihilated bodies out there in houses that could not get out. You're going to have to, you don't know what you're going up to. So trust me. Remember, this whole industry, claims adjusting, insurance, all that, it is an unaliving based thing. And so, yes, insurance is for the living as well, but for the history of it's rooted in people who have transitioned or those type of situations. So keep that in mind. Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. I've seen some good commercials about that Project 2025 too, involving Black men, and I thought it was, and brown men. It was, baby, they needed to have those discussions. So who has bronchitis? First of all, we're going to put our hands together and say, we pray that you are relieved of that bronchitis and that you have full use of your lungs. They are healed, healthy, whole, and function with a factory reset the way God intended them to function. You want to knock out your bronchitis? Get oregano oil. Get that lion heart and oregano oil. That oregano oil, baby, as Method Man said, it'll give you chest hair as a perm. Get that oregano oil. Thank me later. I heard that too, that the Rugrats were a figment of imagination and go. Yeah, listen, I heard that too. There is no negotiating with an alligator. These people were trying to drive through this water that was elevated, trying to escape, and the alligator was eating the tire. Once he bite all, he realized them tires are rubber. Once he bite them tires, where you going? You stuck in that swamp water with him. I ain't with it. I'm not with it at all. I will fight to save my life. I will fight anything. And if an alligator come on me, I'm gonna try to fight him too, but I don't want to have to fight him. Absolutely, absolutely. We love y'all here. We love y'all here. Don't forget to join the membership. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Take advantage. We have member only. We're going to have member only lives. We're going to have member only commenting, things of that nature, subscriber only commenting, stuff like that. We love y'all here. We appreciate y'all. We enjoy y'all so much. Drop in the chat what y'all want to talk about. Yeah, Angelica, right? And my favorite was Susie Carmichael. A baby is a gift from a Bob, not above, a Bob. What you said? Oh, right. And I hear that. Listen, with the clean black sneakers, girl, they know not to. Listen, when the alligators see them black A1s, they're gonna be like, leave that one alone. Leave that one alone. They ain't stupid. Everybody know now. Everybody know. I'm teasing. Oh yeah, definitely, guys. I want y'all to start looking at these channels. They call them conspiracy theory video reactions, but trust me, it's information. The information that they don't want y'all to have. The mainstream society doesn't want you to know. I know you guys have heard that there was some sort of what we've known all our lives to be UFOs, unidentified flying objects. They are now calling UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon. They changed the name, just like some people we know. Every time something happens, they change the name just to control the narrative and to get away from the long history of news that's already out there. We have, when you go to these channels, you tell them the dopest nerd sent you. We have I am QHEF. We have Dre _OG. We have Perky, and we have Right 7X. Baby, can I tell you, you're going to learn so much. You have to walk there, or you'll throw a white one. There you go. You got to walk in there with the mentality that everything that you thought you knew to be true was quite possibly a lie or fictitious to some degree. You have to suspend what you know as reality and walk in with an open mind, heart, willing to take in information, deprogram yourself from the lies, and reprogram yourself with this new knowledge and this truth. It's the only way you're going to make it through. So many people will be woefully unprepared. Oh, who you telling, girl? You preaching to the choir with that. Being from BK, we don't do wildlife. Listen, that is the best. I'm glad you summed it up like that, because let me tell you something. I got a problem with these deers out here. I drove past my girlfriend's house and coming into my neighborhood. One of my neighbors, she's my friend and my client. I drove past her house. 7 deer were on the front of her lawn. 7. They had a baby out there. I saw one of them must have had a baby. It was doing a family reunion. Child, I was sick to my stomach. I cannot stand deer. I cannot stand them. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Sitting, I'm sure you've heard with your telescopes. Have you heard about those UAPs that supposedly crashed? Washington, what they said, Wyoming. Ariani said, what'd you say? Raleigh, a few places. Look, now they're not telling us what happened. They're not giving us the tea, but there are, if you look on YouTube and you look in those channels I told you, you will see like some people's Ring camera caught a crash, and then this big the widest contrail I ever seen. smudged across the sky going down. All types of stuff. All types of stuff. It's really, really bizarre. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Raleigh. Washington, Raleigh, if I'm not mistaken, I think Ohio, and something like one of the M states, like Minnesota or Milwaukee, one of those places. It's this stuff happening out here. And here's the crazy thing. So I always end up in, because of my willingness to speak up and speak out and my ability to, so you guys remember during the pandemic, what was that? I don't know why I'm getting so many brain drains today. What were we all? Vanna, what was that? What did I used to be on during the pandemic? The social media platform where it was just talking and no pictures and or not your face. It wasn't visual, but it was Clubhouse. Clubhouse. So I figured it out, boo. It was Clubhouse. So during the pandemic, remember Clubhouse came up, and at the time it was only like a iPhone beta. They were doing beta testing. It was only the iPhone. It wasn't on like Android yet. And so everybody and their mama was on Clubhouse, having these discussions, having these, and you had the anonymity. Listen, it worked perfectly because some people ain't, their lace fronts was popping up. They ain't had no glue. A lot of dudes, because everything was locked down, they couldn't get that Bijan. So all that gray was coming out, and it gave you the anonymity and the ability to talk. And you could just talk. You could put a picture, whatever picture up for your profile, and nobody could see what you look like, but you had the freedom to talk. And you were in different groups, different topics, all that. The concept of it was fantastic. However, and you had a mixed bag of people, like the best mixed bag of people I've ever seen. There was people from all walks of life, people that used to work in the White House and people that work from Joint Chiefs of Staff and all types of people that was just online. And I would end up in these. So I met this guy online, nothing like date worthy or anything like that. I met this guy online, and he was a mover and a shaker. I still speak to him. His name is Paulo. He knows everybody who's somebody. So Paulo was just like, yo, you're dope, this, that, the other. We went into a room, we were talking, and I said, listen, I'm a survivor of gun violence. This is what happened to me. Da, 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 da. I told them about who I was, what happened to me, this, that, the other. And then I was talking, and I was, we would be in rooms for like 12 hours. And I was talking, and I told what happened to me. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sorry that you endured that. I'm sorry that you suffered that. Can I be a blessing to you? What's your Cash App? I want to send you something. And then all of a sudden, all these big, powerful movers and shakers, a whole bunch of clear folks, black folks, everybody started putting. So he sent me money. Then a couple of other people jumped in and was like, I want to send you something too. They were sending me like $1,000. And I was just like, what's happening here? I just told my story. What's going on? Because this was a new thing. We didn't know nothing about all of this. So then other women started stepping forward and saying, hey, and I met some amazing women. Some of them I'm still friends with. I'm a survivor of gun violence in a different way. My child's father was killed in our front lawn in front of my whole family by some people. And I'm dealing with the trauma of that. And then he said, here's what I want to do. All of the movers and shakers, I want you all to donate money to this fund. He made a big fund, and they funded, and like 50 or 60 women, they just sent them all. They divided it up and sent everybody something. And then he just was so impressed when he was like, my God, the level of strength you have, the power. And so so you would sign on and follow people, and they would follow you. The minute I popped on, the people that these movers and shakers, politicians, everything, that knew Paulo. If I walked into a room, Paulo could be there or not. If I walked into a room, they would elevate me up to the stage. And it would be friggin' thousands of people in the room. And they would, as soon as I walked in the room, they would elevate me to the top and bring me up right there to the top level. Or if there was no space on the stage, to that top level or to the stage. And I would end up speaking in rooms with people that were in the White House. Now, let me tell you something. That worked in 5 White House administrations. I was on a call one night with them. Paulo was in there too. Eventually, I think he dropped out, but he was there for a while. And so help me if they didn't say, we will be visited by, you will start to see aliens, you will start to see UAPs and UFOs coming to our airspace. This, that, I promise you, I was in this conversation with them. It had to be 2020. I promise you, once I was astounded, but I sat there for hours. I was laying on the bed. You know that you hang up. No, you hang up. I had that phone on me, and so help me God. I would tell my family, people's like, child, get out of here with all that. Don't nobody want to hear that. They thought I was insane. They was like, this is nonsense. You sitting on this new app listening to these people talk craziness. You don't even know who they are. Listen to me. Do you know why I'm not surprised about a bunch of stuff? These were people that worked in, I mean, the names, some of them didn't even put their last name, just their first name, because they had clearance. And they were talking about all this stuff back then. I was telling my sisters, my mother, this, people was like, child. They said, what? Aliens is coming? Okay. Clowning. Look what we're dealing with now. And other stuff that they talked about that we've been through in these past few years. The storms, they talked about all these things, all of these things. And look where we're at now. All of it is true. Only thing, some of them were saying that we would start to see it in March of 2021, 2022. It took a minute, but everything they said has come to pass. Everything. I have people who I was like, remember that stuff you was telling me about them people in Clubhouse? Girl, you heard about such and such. They said a UFO crashed. I was like, oh, did they? And I don't care if people kind of like do that. Child, ain't nobody try. I don't care about that. I know God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. So don't think that you might feel like I'm not the smartest person. I didn't do so great in school. None of those things matter to God. None of those things matter to God. I was brilliant in school. I was on an honor roll. I love school. I'm a nerd. I love information and education. But I promise you, you could be the man who cleans the toilets at Macy's. So help me God, he doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. You could be being called right now and you don't even realize it. Do not disavow yourself or look down on yourself. Everybody is capable of being used as a vessel. You don't have to be traditionally educated. You could be somebody who don't know verb subject agreement. If God decides to use you as a vessel, baby, pluck you right on out, and now you're a vessel. And people will come to hear you speak. So don't look down on yourself. Don't look down on your abilities. Understand. And that's why you like-minded people find each other. We know who you are and whose you are. And I know that about myself. And I tell you, in a situation like Clubhouse, where you couldn't even really see people, you could just see their picture. Somebody could have put their bestest picture in the world up on their profile. You don't really know who people are. You type it in what you want in your profile. But you can say you're A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Because listen, as much as good stuff was on Clubhouse, it was a set of slackness too. I went in some rooms. I was like, oh, child, how I get in here? Let me get out of here. This dirty swamp. But baby, I don't care what rooms I've gone in. I have sat on the dais and ratified amendments that became laws. In fact, when I was probably 15 or 16, 15 years old, we had New York had a competition for 149 of the smartest students to go in and represent each assembly district. And we went to Washington and we ratified amendments and we had to make laws. Guess what I worked on? The Graham-Rudman-Hollings Act, which became a finance law. We had to ratify different amendments. When we got up there that day, it was probably like, not, excuse me, Washington, not Washington, Albany, the capital in New York. Our parents said, now you go up there and you act like you got some sense. You know the conversations our parents have with us. You go up there, you act like you got some sense, and you be on your best behavior, and you go do what you got to do, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we know that. We got up there, I think it might have been, so it was 149, I think it might have been 15 black kids, maybe 3 or 4 Latinos, and they hung with us. And the white kids were sitting there all studious in their suits, and they were like, I object, blah, 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 blah. And we was sitting there kind of like, do we belong here? They look like they're real smart. They're talking good. Baby, you see when they told us you guys deserve, we're going to let you off early, go to your hotels, kick back, enjoy yourselves, have a relax, because we have a lot of work to do over the next few days. When they got to the hotel out them suits, we piled up in the room. We put on our pajamas and stuff. We piled in the room. We was playing spades. We was playing dominoes. You know the usual stuff we do. Get together. Everybody, this one bought some popcorn. This one bought this one. We put our stuff together. We was in there chilling, playing music, doing dances. Girl, they was running up and down the hallway. People was butt naked. They caught a few people in the room with the assemblyman that brought them up there. Some people got arrested. They had kegs of beer in the bathtub. It was debauchery, crazy buck wild. We was looking out the door like, girl, if you know what I know, you stay your behind in here. You stay in this room. We could not believe it. They was buck wild, and people got caught. People got caught. People got caught doing all kinds of shit. The next day, the ones who made it out and didn't get arrested was back up in there the next day talking about, and so the grand husbands rolling out. We was looking at them like, I seen you swimming in the bathtub yesterday. Buck wild, you hear me? Never let anyone intimidate you into thinking you not the one. Them suckers was buck. I'm talking swimming in the tub that was the keg of beer, and people were still dipping their cup and drinking. I said, what? I was like, I can't believe this craziness. God can pluck anybody. You could have been silent for the first 7 years of your life, never spoke a word. God will pluck you. In fact, that is Maya Angelou's story. I think she didn't talk until she was 8 or 9 because someone had molested her. And so she decided she wasn't going to talk. She just didn't talk. They thought she was mute or something, or brain damage. She would not utter a word. And then guess what was born out of that? I know why the cage bird sings. God will use all of the dysfunction, all of the abuse, everything, and make you whole, and make people sit at your feet and listen to your words. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't take yourself out of the game before your number is called. God got a plan for you. We got a 100% success rate for everything we've been through. We are sitting here with each other right now. Everything that they thought was going to kill us. You know how much foot on neck they done kept, and they like, these suckers still be succeeding. How? What are they made of? Because we are made of the stuff. We are stardust. We are made of the stuff. Believe in yourself like I believe in you. I believe in each one of y'all. I believe in each one of y'all. The 12th planet, I'm going to look that up. Yes, I believe in each one of y'all. Absolutely. Those are great books. The Master Key, The 48 Laws of Power, phenomenal books. Another good book, it's a little esoteric, but I absolutely love what are all these brain freezes that's happening to me today by Paulo Coelho. The Alchemist. I love that book. I also love this other book by this writer, Jhumpa Lahiri. Um, I don't know why I'm getting these brain freezes, but this book by Jhumpa Lahiri, look it up. Dope books. I read all kinds of books. I love information. Expand your mind. Expand your mind. Books give you the ability to travel the world without leaving your room. I believe in y'all. Y'all are super dope. Y'all are our family. We love you. We value you. We honor you. We honor your time. Stay dope. Stay super dope. It's okay to be the smart one in the room. And smart comes in all shapes and sizes. Smart comes in a lot of different ways. Don't let anybody force you to the back of the room. Don't let anybody force you to the back of the bus. Don't let anybody shut you down. I don't care how avant-garde your ideas are. So what? Trust me. Nobody remembers the filler. Luther Vandross went to the Apollo Theater and lost the showtime at the Apollo, I think 10 times or 9 times. He got it on the 10th time. Does anybody know the 9 people that beat him previously? And no disrespect to them, but does anybody know their names? Well, we know Luther Vandross. Suppose he quit on that 9th time and never went back that 10th time. Don't let, when you know who you are and you know whose you are and you know you got something to give to this world, you know God told you that thing in you is it. Don't let nobody talk you out your blessing. Don't let nobody finesse or hustle you out your blessing. Don't let nobody tell you, no, don't let nobody who hasn't done it tell you your idea is stupid. You can't tell me how to run my business if you ain't never ran a business. You're not going to tell me what you need to do is, but you're going to work for Mr. Charlie every day. Get out of here. If I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail on my own terms, because a failure is not a failure in the traditional sense. It is a success on your attempt. Even if you fail, you already succeeded because you tried. So a whole lot of people would have, if I was you, I would ain't never tried shit. Not a thing. Ain't never tried nothing but making sure, oh, I got to go. I got to be at Mr. Charlie's desk 8 o'clock in the morning, not 8:03, 8 o'clock. And I'm not knocking that, because somebody got to run the desk. Somebody got to be there when we call for that information. But guess what? Don't let nobody finesse you out of who you are and whose you are. You different, be different. Different is dope. I am the definition of different. You hear me? And them same people that used to try to talk junk about different all come around and be like, excuse me, Ab, I went to the doctor today and he gave me this medicine and I was embarrassed and I didn't want to look stupid. So I wasn't really sure what he was saying, but could you tell me how to take this? Could you tell me what I need to do? Could you look at this bump? Listen, when people value you, you might take it as little things, but trust me, people will value you, and this is how you'll know. When they, The Alchemist is by Paulo Coelho, but the other book is by Jhumpa Lahiri. But thank you so much, baby. I appreciate that. You know how they value you? I used to have home chicks that was like popping in the street, the boosters, this, that, come to my shop and be like, Eb, can you look at this and tell me what this is? Bend over, pull her pants down, bend over and show me the crack of her ass. What is this bump I'm feeling right here? What do you think I should do? That's a boil. It's a sign of infection. You need to go to the doctor. However, here's a homeopathic remedy, this thing called soft candle, that if you put burned soft candle and drop it on a boil, it will thing out your body. And also poke root. If you got lymphatic drains that need to be had, if you got a boil, if you got a nodule, if you got a cyst, if you got anything that is abnormal to the body, if you're feeling a pain in your stomach and you can't figure out what it is and you ain't got no insurance and you scared to go to the doctor, you go to the herbal shop or you go on Etsy and you order yourself, or Amazon, and you order yourself some poke root, Poke. You get yourself some castor oil. You infuse that poke root into that castor oil and let it sit. Let it infuse and soak up a lot, and some cloves. And trust me, take that oil and rub it on you and drain all that shit and heal yourself. But you don't give up on yourself. We not quitters. I'm not giving up on you, and you not giving up on you. I ain't going to let you. And I'm going to come looking for each and every one of y'all if I don't see y'all. Trust me. And it's love. But we went over, as I always do. But either way, I love y'all. Come up with those ideas that we need to talk about. Come up with those. Thank you. I love y'all. I love y'all. I just let him use me. I just let him use me. I just let him use me. Absolutely. Get your herbal books. And there's also, I'm going to look up the name of this book. It is basically like a survival book to have in the event the power grid goes down and everybody's isolated from stuff, the things you need to have in your house. Y'all need to start. I told you me and Nirvana have one here, and we call it the ice box in case of emergency. We got everything in there. When I tell you, don't just think of the obvious things like batteries, Band-Aids, this, that, the other. Think of, you have menstruating women have pads. I don't think tampons are a great idea. I used to wear them, but the toxic shock syndrome and all that, have pads. All them supermarket bags that you take and throw away, keep those. Because if the power grid goes down and the water filtration system goes down, if nothing else, you can tie that stuff up in a bag and toss it in the back or wherever and save yourself from, everything has a purpose. Everything is utilitarian. Don't just get batteries. Make sure you got Band-Aids. Make sure you got peroxide and things to clean, or alcohol, things to clean an illness, a wound. If you get a wound, make sure you got butane stoves. Make sure you got, and I'm gonna get together with the dopest mods and I'm gonna have them put that in. I'm gonna build a list and have them. We're gonna put that in the chat so you guys can have links to all these things, because I want our family to be prepared. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Your kids and you deserve more than that. Don't let yourself fail because you were unprepared. So everybody sleep well. Have a great evening. Hug on them children. Tell them auntie said, hey, boo-boo. And let's do what we got to do, and we will meet back here soon. Peace and prosperity to everybody. Peace and blessings. Asheo, ashe, ashe, asheo, and amen. 5-gallon buckets, that's right. Yep, stay away from them tampons, baby. They ain't nobody's goodness. Anything that, think of it like this. Anything that makes life easier is making us dumber. Anything that seems like it's the cheat code is not the cheat code. I used to tell my children, I still tell them, the shortcut is the long cut in the end. Take the long cut. That's right. Oh, you make your own ice? You got to teach us that. And definitely have some type of solar system to charge up whatever you need. You may not be able to get online, but you may be able to have access to things that you've downloaded and you have information in your phone. So make sure you do that. I love you guys. Nighty night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Abundance, peace, blessings, love, honor, all of that for you guys. Mwah. And I'm going to give me some lotion because these hands is dry.